Holy El Toro is testing. More on that later in the show. Hello, guys. Welcome to the Chain Dogs podcast. Hope you're all doing well. Sean is going to join us at some point. Hello to everyone in the chat. If you are new here,
Hopefully.
we are live roughly every Wednesday here on YouTube. So make sure you subscribe. If you listen to this on Spotify, come on over, join the chat. That's where all the fun happens during these live streams. How is everyone doing? We've had quite a break, so hope you're all doing really good in the chat. Get them questions in as well.
So glad you started with Holy El Toro.
Yeah. You were shitting yourself, literally, then, weren't you?
You're sitting there sweating before we.
I mean,
I panicked. I really did.
Yeah, she's panicked that much. She's frozen.
I was like, shit, I'm going to start like this.
Oh, wow. There's quite a lot of people. 24 people. Guys, thank you so much.
They're still on the M6. So Sean says hi.
Yeah, it's okay. It's fine. Take time, guys. We're all good. We've got quite a bit of news to go through. And we're going to recap Emma's trip to Wales, and we're going to talk about some other stuff as well later in the show, like I say. So make sure you stay tuned. But for now, we're going to crack on with the news. And in the news, well, but I said it at the top of the show, so we might as well talk about it. El Toro is now testing. Mikhail, you got any info on this knocking about?
Yes. I mean, to directly answer your question, yes, I do. To go off on a slightly different tangent, do I have news that I can actually talk about? Maybe not.
Straight away. For once, testing footage doesn't look slow.
Oh.
Yeah, no, it is already. It already looks back like it's back to the El Toro I remember, but. Yeah, no. For anyone who wasn't aware, I think I saw. I saw this. Yes, was it yesterday that it?
I think it was, because we both had the same reaction. Was like, Sean, you're gonna get to ride El Toro.
Yeah, I threw it in our Twitter chat, and was just like it was literally the first person I thought of, and it was just like, oh shit, because in the conversations that I've had, I wasn't 100% sure if it was coming back this year, but knew that there could be a chance of it. And I mean, sure enough, like they're cracking on with it, cracking on with testing. That either tells me that the retracking and just all the structural fixes that they had to make have either gone really well, or I'm wondering like to what degree have they actually done what they needed to do. But I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see in time. I mean, it seems like I've seen 2 or 3 different videos of it testing now. Whether or not they're all of the same test run, I have no idea. I saw them at different times, so I'm inclined to think no. But if it's already looking like they're able to run it, how they'll need to run it when it's in operation again. And if they're already like testing regularly, in terms of just cycling trains, then it's looking good for an opening like pretty soon, I would say.
It's very exciting.
I'm so glad.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, man.
That was it.
I'm so glad.
Carry on.
I'm just really glad. Yay.
I am.
I was expecting something.
Just happy to be here, okay?
Carry on.
No, it's really cool to see it, and it's another classic in the world having work done to it. It's lovely. It is lovely. It's good to see. There's so many amazing coasters, like just getting work to them, obviously for reasons, but it prolongs the life as well. No matter what they do to these rides, when they fix them up, prolongs them, so they're gonna be around. May still get a chance to ride El Toro in the future. You never know.
That's why I'm glad.
I'm glad. Yes, I'm glad.
Speaking of rides that are having work done to them,
Go on, James.
Nemesis.
Yeah,
It's
Segue.
installed.
It has, and it looks very nice. I don't think we've got an image.
The more and more I'm seeing of that new track, I wasn't sure on it when I first saw it, but now I'm seeing it more and more installed, and it
Be
in
back in 1
context
second
with
while I
the
just go
area and the
and
station.
beat my children up.
YouTube, do not kick us off live.
The view shared by Emma of Top Roll Taurus.
They are our own.
of Emma and Emma alone.
Non-representative of
We do not-
Chain Dogs podcast.
We do not co-sign child abuse on this podcast.
Wow.
Oh,
But yeah, anyway, before that, yeah, seeing installed and more of it next to each other, and in context with like the station behind it, I'm really liking the look of the new track.
it is really cool, and the fact that there's pieces of the station that have been removed already as well, like some of the old track pieces that the fake track pieces there as well. That's really exciting to see what they're going to put in there. I can't wait. The whole area is just coming alive with, obviously, another one in the news as well. Related to it, Subterra has opened as well. We didn't get to talk about that last week, but that seems to have had a great reception. They've put a new 3D sign as well at the entranceway.
Yeah, the sun's
That looks
cool.
so good.
It looks really cool. It looks really
It
good.
does really remind me of the Nemesis Inferno sign, though.
The old one. Yeah.
Boo,
No,
hiss.
I know what you mean, but egg, yes.
Before we go any further,
Egg.
Emma, please just confirm that you, in fact, did not go and beat your children up.
Yeah.
Oh God, no! Just a light talking to. That was all. If you do see me disappear, honestly, I'm just having a word. I promise.
Friendly chat. We need HR.
We need a
I'm
HR department.
seeing a lot of positive reactions from Subterra being open.
Yeah, so if you have ridden Subterra, let us know in the chat, and we'll pull up your comment, and we'll talk about what you guys experienced.
I've
Not been
done it
able
yet,
to ride it yet.
but
No.
Carl went, and so
Oh.
I obviously vlogged it, so I edited it, so I've watched it through him. But I was glad they got the spitting man from the phalanx back at the beginning. Like it was good. Like the whole thing at the beginning of it was really cool.
Yeah,
I enjoyed that.
the spitting man.
Well, he did. In like other fireworks, the video, he just spat constantly. Like,
Yeah.
I know he was enunciating.
I want the news, not the weather, mate.
Well,
Like,
good
calm
God.
down. But yeah, I loved it though when it opened. Fucking everyone was just like, "It's that man!" Like, everyone on
The
Twitter was
spitting
like,
man.
"It's him! It's the man! Where's John Wardley?"
I did see
Like,
that someone
Someone's found his
someone
like acting
posted about
profile.
him. Yeah,
Really?
his acting
Someone's
profile, and then
found
the
his
actual
profile.
guy commented underneath. Yeah, they found
Yeah,
the profile.
actually.
It was like, oh, he was a northerner, and then the guy actually commented underneath and was like,
Yeah,
"Not
no, he's
quite."
from Manchester. I think, yeah.
see, all the best. All the best.
So he's now being stalked by enthusiasts.
Well done, guys. Well done.
But
Pat
he didn't
yourselves
have
on
that
the
one
back.
thinking he was
No.
that coming, did he? He's
No.
like, great.
No, Twitter bingo card on that one. No, we're expecting to be stalked by a few enthusiasts just because I said good night, Nemesis.
I literally have zero idea what you're talking about. But
The guy who was the main spokesman for Phalanx during the fireworks show. He opened Subterra. Yeah.
Yeah,
right,
he was
okay.
there opening Subterra.
He cut the ribbon, so to speak.
Right, okay.
Yeah, that was a rather than placing the ribbon across the ride entrance.
Yeah.
No, let's just tie it between two posts. That's already a fence. It's not blocking anything.
His fence is now.
Nobody can get through. The ride's now open. Cut the ribbon, but you're going to have to go all the way
You can't go
round.
around, mate. You
come
can't go
this
around the
way.
ribbon. No, it's red tape. Can't get through the red tape. Is he on Fiverr from Tech Andrew? Are you going to get him
Might
to
be
do
on
some narration for it? Yeah, I mean, probably. Yeah, a lot of people are.
Ticket Thrill says yet to ride Sub or Curse the poor Southern Life. I agree
Oh, no. Well,
entirely.
yeah, I haven't really.
I'm in the same boat.
Well,
yeah.
well, what Southern Life?
It's symbolic.
So, I mean, if you want, we can talk about Ghost Train if you want.
Yeah, let's talk about that. 'cause
I don't-
that'll-
Still
I don't
haven't
think-
ridden that either.
I don't think
Yeah.
we've actually. I don't think we've actually talked about Ghost
I-
Train
No,
opening
so-
on here yet.
I will have ridden it
Yeah.
by this time next week.
By
so
all
I can talk
accounts,
about
from what I've read, it's still a little bit shit. So
it. Yeah, I'm expecting it.
I've heard some people say that it's actually,
It's more
you know,
like
it holds some substance as a story now.
Yeah, because
Like
it
it-
hasn't any shit
like
VR. Like it's
It's still gonna have to
Like
wait
it's-
8,000 years to get on it.
The people who I've heard that have ridden it have said that they enjoy it. Like, well, plainly speaking, they enjoy it more than they ever did Darren Brown's Ghost Train. And
Not hard.
they seem to have patched up a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? I guess storytelling holes.
Yeah, loose
With
ends with it.
Yeah. And I mean, yeah, obviously I've not seen anything of it, but
I do like
what I've seen is like it's gone down pretty well, the opening. I did see the opening ceremony though. The opening ceremony looked kind of makeshift though.
Oh, we're opening today. Oh,
Yeah.
right, everyone.
Shit,
B&M,
quick.
right, get on the bus to Staines. We need
Yeah.
B&M. We need
Was
little
John
bargains.
Burton involved?
Where's that podium
in-
we had from
in-
like 5 years ago? Oh,
Where's
okay.
that? There it is. It's just
That'll
a
do.
Was John
warehouse.
Burton involved in Ghost Train at all? Because he wasn't there. It wasn't him
I
that spoke
not know.
at the opening ceremony. Or
I
anything like
would
that.
have-
And then they
I would have-
cut a ribbon. Speaking of cutting a ribbon at Subterra, they cut some ribbon and then maybe let off like one confetti cannon. It was.
They must have got a good
I
deal
mean,
on ribbon.
It looked a bit sad. I'm not gonna lie.
Compared to Jumanji's opening, yeah.
Yeah, like it looked nothing like
That's
that.
where all
It
the
looked-
budget went.
It looked
Yeah,
nowhere
all
near
the
as
budget for
celebratory.
Merlin went on Jumanji.
Ad says he was not involved.
No, yeah.
Oh, he wasn't.
Not involved.
Oh, okay, cool. Oh, well, that's cool though.
But,
I mean,
yeah,
at least he had a bit of a break.
Looping back to Subterra, people are
Yeah.
saying that the new lap bars are so bad.
Oh, why? What's
Yeah.
wrong with them?
I've heard a
Not
lot of
being
people
spited
saying
by.
that the ride's being interrupted and the flow of the story's been interrupted because people can't get on it. So the immersion's being lost because you're sitting down and it's all like, ooh, spooky. And then they're all like, actually, turn the lights on, trying to get people in, and then sorry,
Oh.
going it off.
Bloody hell. That's not good, is it? They should have. They need to fix that. If that's the case, because the whole thing of that is it's timed. It's all timed, and
Yeah,
then
a lot of that's been lost with getting people on and off, apparently.
that's the problem with bringing back a ride from the past and bringing it to the modern day. There are things about it that you just won't be able to change. There's certain things about it that won't be able to change in the way technology's moved on with flat rides and stuff like that. You would expect a more fluid ride experience with new lap bar system and stuff like that. So, yeah. I mean, as I just said, the lap bars on Silver are a major part of why it closed in the first place. Suddenly reopen it without modifications doesn't fix the problem. Who knew? Yeah, I mean, yeah. But the egg ride is back,
Egg.
so it's I'm happy about it. I enjoy it. I enjoy it more. To be honest with you, I enjoy the lift, the pre-show, the lift, and then the interaction with the actors as well, more than the ride itself. I think the ride itself is okay, but I enjoy the theatrics of it more than the actual
Wasn't
ride.
there a lot of talk about
they've-
how there was no shouty people at the end, and then they brought them back? People were getting rides early on when it had just opened, saying like the exit kind of scene where you get shouted at and all that.
Yeah,
lot.
yeah.
There was nothing for some
Oh,
people, and then there was a
really?
bit of a storm on Twitter. Then all of a sudden it was like, oh, there was actors in it today. So I'd be really upset if you only got those exit actors on certain days.
Yeah, like peak days.
Because
Yeah.
I loved that bit, the whole like
Yeah.
chasing you out and get out, and that was good. I like being
Yeah.
shouted at. It was great.
And
But
the
if
fact
it's not,
when
if it's just get off the ride and leave, it's not as
yeah,
exciting,
no,
is it?
that's not Subterra for me. Subterra for me is, well, I experienced that when it first opened, so it didn't have that balls to the wall, interaction at the end. And then when they put it in, they should have learned from the first time they did that, to be fair, because nobody liked it the first time, and then as soon as they changed it, it was a million times better.
Yeah,
So-
I did it twice before. Once with no actors, and the second time I did it with actors, and you're right, it made it 1,000 times better.
It felt like a quarter of a scare maze, and then a gap, and then another quarter of a scare maze, like towards the end. It was
It's just a bit of a letdown, just like the whole drop thing, and then just casually strolling out. It's not the same.
no, I mean, because The way I remember it is like strobe lights, red lights going off, the egg split open. Oh, it's missing. I can't remember which one it was. Yeah, and like everything's just going mental. You've got just lights, people shouting, "Move, move, move!" You know, get out. Then you've got 10 seconds counting down on the main PA, and you get in the lift, and it just goes fucking bonkers in it. Like, you know, shapes.
Yeah,
and
it was the best bit.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I'd be gutted. I'd be gutted.
I love Karen's comment. Nemesis be like, "May I offer you an egg in this trying time?"
No spoilers, mate. It's been out for years. Like, it closed for a while, but come on, this is Subterra. We all know it's about an
It's
egg.
pretty much the same, apart from different dialogue, from what I've heard. So
yeah. So that's fun.
Going back to Nemesis itself.
Yeah.
Like with the reimagining of the of Subterra's sign, like in the colors that it uses, the colors of the new track and stuff. It's just it makes me more curious of what they'll just do around the area for Nemesis, the roller coaster itself.
Also, Blade sign got updated to similar coloring as well.
Yeah, it got made black,
Recently.
didn't it? We thought that was an undercoat, but obviously
So
it wasn't,
like, yeah, it makes me wonder what they're gonna do with the station, if anything. I feel like they're gonna have to complete like it. I mean, we've been saying this for a while, but like they're gonna have to really pretty much completely reimagine the entire area. At least that area of Forbidden Valley, if not all of Forbidden Valley, really. But like at least that area of Forbidden Valley, to just so that the new track doesn't stand out in the landscape and in the rockwork as much as it does right now, because it still looks like I think it does look better now in actual position, but it's still like it's a very, in comparison to the area, it's a very flashy finish on it. In terms of it's a very glossy finish on the paint still. Like I think they're gonna have to really just bring the area up to make the track fit in. Like,
yeah, I would hope that in terms of, let's just think about theming for the station and Nemesis itself.
Yeah,
I hope that they've got to do. Surely the station has got to be like all singing, all dancing, incredible now, because they're putting all this effort in. Like, you know, Subterra's back and the track's completely different. To have the same, obviously rebuilt, but the same station would just be a shitter. Surely they've got to come out with something that we're all going to look at and go, holy shit.
I would like it to look like the actual inside of the monster.
Yeah.
Because I mean that's what the station is. Yeah, like that is because that's what the station is supposed to be.
Yeah,
like the actual Nemesis alien.
Yeah,
and inside it looks like a warehouse.
Yeah, it looks like literally anywhere else. But as well, that has its own charm because of the ride. You know how old it is, and where it's sat, and the rest of the station did look that worn out when it was first done. It had different colors. It's the colors we went for in Virtual Towers because we feel like it represents the theme of the ride more than what they did when they changed it, because it sits with the old track color as well. But with the station, yeah, you're right, Emma. We need to get something that's definitely stand out, and it makes you just like stare at it. Like you just need to be able to stare at Nemesis and go, Jesus, like they've done so much work.
Yeah, I just pray that we don't have a Galactica moment where it's promised to be incredible and it's just budgets and it's not. I just pray that they keep a suitable amount of the budget aside to make it what it deserves.
Honestly, I think that Nemesis might be the one coaster under the Merlin brand where they wouldn't cheap out on the budget.
You'd hope, wouldn't you?
You would hope, yeah. But like also with the amount of money and effort that's gone into the marketing of the attraction,
that's it. They gotta go big.
All we've seen of the actual attraction is the track.
Yeah,
and they're already putting this much effort into, first of all, closing it.
Yeah.
And then secondly, just keeping the hype train going for the reopening.
Yeah.
I hope they
It
give the
only-
station like a massive surprise, like originally with the big tent they had. I hope they do the same thing because
Yeah.
I don't want to know
Yeah.
what it looks like until it's open and I can ride it. I don't want to be, I know we've got the platform to see the track going in and all that lot, but I hope that there comes a point where some kind of tenting goes over the main station itself and it's kept completely secret.
Like Bob.
Yeah.
Like Bob. From an enthusiast point of view, especially,
Yeah.
like I know that enthusiasts like, we like a little teaser here and there, but for me, the station itself, I don't want to know.
Emma will be stood there on Farley Lane just shooting drones down like, fuck off, stop spoiling it.
That's the one bit of it. Like, because I know that they've been showing us exactly what they want us to see.
Yeah.
And I bet an element of that is to kind of keep enthusiasts at bay because you know what we're like. We'll always find out. Somebody will always get a photo.
Yeah.
But I hope they go through like the extent of completely tenting it off and not showing us a thing because personally I don't want to know. Like I want a surprise and I want to be, fingers crossed, wowed when I see it for the first time.
Yeah. So everyone's talking
setting
about
the expectation levels high, and this the one where like my expectation levels are high because of how much effort they're already putting into it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That's why I hope that it continues.
And for what
So it's
John
like-
Wadley said at Towers Times event, where he said everybody categorically in the industry said, "Don't mess with Nemesis." So
No.
it's one of them where everybody respects the ride so much and what it's done for Alton Towers and Merlin, and well, what it did for Two Swords as well. So it's done a lot for a lot of people. So it's a coaster that's in everyone's memory. And we're so lucky to be at our age now experiencing what people experienced in 94 next year is going to be bonkers. Can't wait.
And
yeah,
like I talk to like I'll just there are people from everywhere
Yeah.
that are watching this.
yeah.
And
People Nemesis
that
is
are,
iconic.
Hello, world.
yeah. there are people who are going to be considering coming from
for opening,
all ends of the world to go and be there like on opening weekend.
It's going to be rammed. It's going to be probably one of the busiest.
I cannot fucking wait. Like, it's going to be like Christmas Day. It's going to be like the night before. I'm going to be so flipping excited. I'm going to be up at the crack of dawn. I'm going to be out them gates, and I'm just going to be like at 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock in the morning, just like I want to see. That's how excited I am. I'll be there with my face pressed in like the fence, just like I want to say.
Let me in. Yeah.
Like
literally.
It's going to be like a huge occasion. Like, oh god, it's so exciting thinking about it because
it is, isn't it? Like it's proper memorable.
Like I personally, like when they said it was going to be closed for a year and stuff, I was like, you know what, it's only a year, and I didn't think I would miss it. But now when I go to Towers, I miss it massively, and I know we can still go and look at it, and I think that makes it worse for me because I can see it, but I can't ride it. And it's like I say, when we've been through top 10s, Nemesis ain't even in my top 10, but I understand Nemesis as a whole, that it is iconic, and like Mikhail said, it's a globally iconic roller coaster.
Yeah,
and I just fucking do it justice, man.
See, I don't know what I don't know if like Ride Till Dies put we're booking the hotel to go through the bottom gates. I'm not so sure they're gonna do it.
It depends. It depends if they'll actually. It depends how they'll handle
it.
Personally, if I was Towers, I wouldn't let people in the Galactic Urges that day. It spoils it. You don't want it. You want everyone to come from the same
that's
way.
the thing, though. Part of booking the hotel is you expect to get that. So
I mean,
to do it, they're gonna have a lot of pissed off.
Oh well, the
customers
they don't really mind,
right? Fuck them, because if they're going to have a big song and dance about it, and they're going to have planned it out, like look at the opening ceremony we have for Subterra and stuff like that. It's going to be like that, but 100 times as big.
Or
I wouldn't want people toddling in. I'd want everyone to come from the same way to see the same thing at the same time, and because it's going to be a production, I imagine. So,
or like at least hold them at a spot,
like
on that side, and then let them come in at
Yeah,
a certain time, because it's like when they do the opening ceremony, it's that you also got to factor in whereabouts in the area are they going to actually hold the ceremony. So if they hold it at the entrance where the first corkscrew is, then the hotel stayers are at a disadvantage because they're going to be coming from behind there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So like, where do you hold it to where they can come in without already seeing basically the entire ride before they get to where the actual ceremony is being held?
I reckon
I'd be
they'd
pissed
go
if
through-
I paid. I'd be pissed if I paid to stay in the hotel and I missed something because I'd come from the opposite direction.
Right, but at the same time, you don't want them to be walking in and seeing all of the area before everyone else comes in the normal normal way. So it's like
I suppose you could take.
That's the decision
around,
that Towers has to make about.
You could take people around the bottom where Funfairs is now and kind of filter them around that way, so
filter them around
everybody
the back.
is coming from the same kind of direction.
Perhaps, yeah.
Where the Nemesis sign is with the.
I reckon they'll
alien thing.
hold everyone at the drill, just before the drill,
Yeah.
or just after the drill, before the Nemesis. Yeah, like you say, the Nemesis sign. I think they'll bring everyone round and stop everyone there. And you'll have hotel guests to the right as you come in. Then you'll have everyone else funneling through Gloomy Wood and probably all the way through Katanga,
That's
then
the best
probably all the
option.
way past Wickerman and probably all the way through the entrance.
That's the best option because, like I say, if I'd paid to stay in the hotel and I'd come in that way and missed something as an enthusiast, I'd be quite upset. I'd
say. Oh, sorry. Go on. What were you
No,
saying?
I was finished. I was just saying words.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Ad says worth noticing that Towers coaster openings typically don't have any sort of opening moment on the day. It's usually just opens with a park, and any ceremony is for like media days and stuff.
Yeah, but I mean,
sure, but like
Curse at Alton Manor had a thing.
It depends if they want to book that trend for Nemesis. You never know.
Nemesis would be the coaster to change that.
Nemesis would be the coaster to change shit up for.
If you're ever going to make a big thing out of it, it would be for Nemesis. They've gone through all this effort, for God's sake.
They could do what they did with Jumanji.
Oh, yeah.
Hotel guests, we got the opening ceremony before the park had opened.
And then do it again.
They did it twice that day.
Okay.
They did it for the ERT.
Right.
And then an hour later, we were held in Jumanji area.
I actually didn't know
and
that.
they did the opening ceremony again.
Maybe they do that. Yeah,
that's funny. I feel for the inevitable one family who comes through the hotel entrance, just wanting to take the little ones to see BB's land and have to fight against a tide of rapid.
I could just picture that.
Rabid Susan.
You can imagine them like with their kids in their arms, going, "Jesus Christ!" Like,
what is happening?
What's the Nemesis? What everyone's going on about?
Don't look directly at it.
Yes. I just want to go right, Postman Pat. For God's sake, get out of the way.
Yeah, Karen pointed out in total they actually did 4 opening ceremonies for Jumanji.
So Jumanji.
Because there was 2 the day before as well.
I love the one that you saw where that kid got asked to get on stage and he fucking presses the button and
he presses
and we're
the
open and he just literally turns around and just goes, "Right, mate, I'm done." And then like, it's the best thing ever. If you've not seen it, check out James's vlog on our channel. And he's just filming this like the ceremony when he was there. And this kid literally just smashes the button and it's like 3, 2, 1, boom, right, walks off the stage. And the guy who's hosting is like,
he turned and already started walking as the thing was dropping.
Yeah,
like that. I just wanted to ride the Blue Barnacle. What am I doing?
Why? I got caught walking. Yeah, I got caught walking to Dragon's Fury. What's going on? Like, it's just.
Oh yeah, Dragon's Fury, which didn't open for most of the day.
Oh yeah, Dragon's Fury is like valid a few times this year. I was valid once. I think it's valid a couple of times. I think. I don't know why. Might be wind or something. But
it's
such a great ride. No, but it's such a great ride though. I
love it.
It's a mint ride. It's probably one of my favorite spinning ones.
It's the best Mario spinner I've ever done.
Yeah, it's definitely better than Spinball. I don't know if it's better than what is it, Windjass?
The reason I like Dragon's Fury is purely the layout, how it's like it's so drawn out, the layout.
It is
Windjass is better. Windjass is better themed and it's a lot of fun. Like Windjass is better than Spinball Wizard.
There's 2 options.
It's the best themed. There's 2 options, but Dragon's Fury is fucking insane.
Yeah, it is. It's bonkers.
And that goes
especially when you get the weight balance right, and it's
There's a
And
way
you-
there's a way you can get the weight balance right. There's a way you can basically ensure a nasty spin every time.
Yeah,
you
no,
ride it.
that's what me and Luke ended up having to the point
Yeah, we
where
did.
You can't. That's
When
the only Mara spinner I've done where you can actually ensure that you spin like
when it
fucking
hit the
crazy on
bar to recenter the train. We hit the bar because we were still spinning on the brake run. We
Yeah.
hit it with so much force that the noise made the maintenance guys walk out of the shed and go, "What the fuck was that?"
And I shit you not, one of them had a cup of tea in their hand as well. Like they were like,
Just like- you can tell that they were just sipping the brew and they're just like,
Right.
we better check that. And just
Yeah, that sounded big. Like, what was that? It was a big fucking. It was a massive bang though. We were sat in the train like, because obviously it rotated back then, and we were facing the maintenance people, so we just sat there like,
Didn't do anything.
wow, it's the ride. Don't look at us. And then we got in the station. We're like, shit, I think we just broke the ride
Run away.
because it went
run
down
away.
as well. It went down for
Not
like
long after that.
like 4 cycles after it, and it was.
I'd have got
it
off
was-
and be like, I'm off, see you later. It weren't really-
Let's go look at some tigers. Like it was just
Bye.
it was mental. But yeah, I do like Dragon's Fury. Dragon's Fury is awesome. Bit off topic, but yeah.
I was gonna say, moving on.
Yeah.
I was gonna say let's stay down
Speaking of
south.
rides breaking,
Oh, I see what
Oh.
you
has
did there.
everyone seen that? That was it,
Oh.
Sky Luke?
Yeah.
Okay,
It looks
Yeah.
disgusting.
from what I can work out, it
Shit
is
ride.
not the one at Parkdale
Abysmo.
Warner.
Shit,
It's
right.
Yeah.
not Abysmo. It was
Abysmal.
unknown at
One of Sean's
Nandai
favourite
International
coasters.
Amusement Centre.
One of Sean's favourite coasters.
Either
One
way,
of the ones Sean
whichever
knows
one it was.
a lot about.
basically being stuck upside down for 20 minutes with a laptop.
Yeah, and apparently
I
it was
just simply
20
tried.
minutes that was stuck upside down.
I'm not a fan. My head would have just exploded. I just wouldn't.
Yeah,
have.
that's
That's
bad.
not
innit?
fun.
So
That's
for
not
anyone,
fun.
for anyone that doesn't know what a Mara Skyloop does, it's
Lift tilt up.
it makes you hate roller coasters for a little while. No, it goes up it goes up a vertical lift hill and inverts at the top of the lift hill. I can't remember how tall it is, but it
Yeah.
inverts at the
About
top of the lift
100
hill.
something foot.
Yeah, something like that. And it does a roll, like a slow roll, like a slow roll into a drop, like back down to the station, and then just basically flies through the station, goes up the lift again, and then just comes down slowly on the lift. If it has an extended layout like Abysmo at Parque de la Tracciones, it
Yeah.
I've said it a few times. It like after that drop, it just, I think it has like an airtime hill and then another like overbank turn after, and there's a few different things, but most of them, yeah, they just after the slow roll, they just drop back down to the station.
Yeah, so
They are
basically the lift
bullshit rides.
Doesn't come off
Sorry.
like the chain lift until you're well upside down. It
Right,
doesn't let
yeah,
you
yeah.
go.
It can, so yeah, the anti-rollbacks are on the inverted bit still as well.
So you're basically
it's-
where it stopped was right at the top.
where it
before
stopped
lets
is
go of
just
you.
before it would.
So
kinda
you're
carry on
basically
naturally.
completely upside down with your lap bar and just, oh, okay. And
20
apparently they're
minutes.
there for 20 minutes. I wouldn't be a fan. Don't know about anybody else, but that does sound
Nah.
fun.
I wouldn't be a fan for that.
No, I don't even know
I
what
would
I'd do.
be wailing uncontrollably.
See, the thing is though, it's not the only ride to have done it
Yeah.
with people. on.
Abysmo's done it. Like Abysmo at Park. where
Didn't
they've been
G-Force do it at one point?
Do we have the
That
video?
one in Spain.
We did have the video. It was in the chat where we can get
The
it
video is in chat. I can get it up quickly.
Talk amongst yourselves, guys.
What, the video of Abysmo doing it, or the video of this one?
I've got the
Of
video
unknown.
of this
Oh.
one.
Oh,
There
no, the right.
is the video. Look,
But yeah, basically, it looks disgusting, and I would not. And
Yeah.
for not even, I think Jordan from Cupcakes and Coasters said that she got stuck on Abysmo, and it was for about 30 seconds, and she said it was absolutely horrendous. So I can't imagine what 20 minutes would be like.
20 fucking minutes. I'm also
Imagine being on that.
I'm
Like,
also
if I
wondering
took
there's
if
my
nothing
kids on it-
confirmed.
I'm also
Oh,
wondering
yeah,
if that's a bit
someone's-
of an exaggeration.
It
But
probably is.
at the same time, yeah,
I'd be panicking myself if I took my kids on it. I'd be like, "Oh, this is going
There
to
it
be
is.
well exciting," and then they get
being
stuck.
stuck
Full
up
screen it.
there, upside down for any amount
No.
of time
Luke,
is
screen
Yeah.
it.
Oh yeah,
one.
No.
can do that, can't I?
Nuh-uh. No, thank you.
Yeah.
I am good.
It
thank
was
you.
so close to being at the point where it could release.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so the first car has gone past the chain.
It's because
just
the
not let
back
it go.
car is still a
Yeah.
little bit on the curve. If it was a little bit further forward, it would have gone.
I'm
away.
just
horrendous.
wondering how,
It didn't go back.
like, did the chain motor
can't,
just
I don't
stop
think.
before the car released, or like I'm just wondering how that could even happen.
Power cut.
Like there has to that like
Yeah, it could just be a power cut.
did
like,
someone hit a lift? Did someone hit the lift stop too, like accidentally, or like did just the chain motor give out or something?
I mean, I know most enthusiasts enjoy it when things, when you get a brief stoppage, but I can't imagine anybody would be a fan of that.
No. No, definitely not. But Mikhail, you wanted to stay down south, so you go ahead with your segue, bro.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna talk about. Well, yeah, I mean, you have Paultons Park listed.
Yeah, you
here.
do.
Ooh,
Yeah, you do.
We haven't been to Paultons
for
Park.
a while. No, we still haven't been. We need to make that happen, bro. We need to make that happen.
I've only been once.
Yeah, I need to get down there.
Basically, the area of land where Edge is, their disco, which has got a lovely pruned bush and there's a bit of a field. They are developing it. Why are you laughing? It's true. Have you seen the bushes? Have you seen the bushes at Paultons? They are immaculate.
They are actually just unreasonably well kept.
They are so. I mean,
Welcome
I've
to
never
God
seen
now.
a better bush. I've never seen a better bush. Like, genuinely talk about bushes, man. Sure.
Oh dear.
It just anyway. That area of land by the disco and the bush is being redeveloped into some form of water ride.
Has that been confirmed that it's going to be?
Wasn't there signage about a splashing time or some form of water reference? I'm sure there was a water reference.
Anything that might have been.
Yeah,
there was something, and there was like a plan put in place by the people who make the water coaster. It was very heavily branded towards that direction of construction. So I'm thinking that's going to be that's what it's going to be, and that's really cool because if they choose a good model, that can be quite thrilling as well. And it can offer something. It can open up a new area as well in the park. That it's definitely a central attraction you can build around. But you've been saying for ages, Mikhail, that the expansion at that park is just the idea of expansion at that park is pretty awesome. What they've got, the space that they've got around the park, and
and that area is the area that they need to hit next. Like that area with the Edge, the Disco, and Cobra as well.
Is that where Cobra is? Yeah.
Because it is quite random that you've got. I mean, you've got what there? You've got the Drop Tower, Magma, then you've got Cobra, and then the Disco that are just kind of, they seem quite random. And I know it's only over the past few years that Paultons have gone into the heavy theming, but you've got the dinosaur area and all that lot right next to it. So that bit of the park with Cobra, which also has a very nice bush, by the way, it's in the shape of a snake.
I'm sorry, but Kira put Disco in the Bush is the name of Emma's indie band.
Disco in the Bush is amazing.
Copyrighted, can't take it.
Oh, there you go.
But that area of the park in general,
I've just gone on Street View.
Yeah,
that is a very well pruned bush.
Did you see that?
it is as square as you can make a bush.
I weren't lying.
It's
Somebody's
ridiculous.
gone in with a fucking.
So Paultons Park knows a thing about manscaping, evidently.
Yeah. Whoever prunes that bush deserves an award.
And talk about our sponsor.
Manscaped.
The Lawnmower 4.0.
Imagine if we actually get a sponsorship.
We need to now.
That'd be so true.
Disco in the Bush. Thank you, Manscaped, for sponsoring this episode. Links in the video description.
That'd be fucking
make it happen. Make it happen, Twitter. Like,
use code EdgePush
for 20% off your first purchase.
EdgePush could come across as something else, bro. That's a bit weird.
Gecko Gamer said we demand a bush. It's before 9 o'clock. Get your mind out the gutter.
Well, no, it's
We're not that
really
kind of
cool that
podcast.
the family park is opening up.
Who was never?
That is hopefully opening a water coaster. That's going to be good fun. The only water coaster that I've done, I haven't done like any of the Max Super Splash or whatever they're called, but I've done Journey to Atlantis in Florida. And that goes from being a log flume to a water coaster. And that transition, actually, I was really shocked at how the vibe of the ride just changes instantly. And you just get thrown into this other new attraction. I don't think this is going to be anything like Journey to Atlantis, but having that change from splash to track was really cool. I really did enjoy it. And I'd always wanted to ride Journey to Atlantis for that reason. And when you hit that drop, it's something else, isn't it? Like Mikhail, it's so good. It is.
Yeah, the water coaster I've done is the one at Energylandia. They won't have one of them because that was fucking terrifying. That lift hill, there was absolutely no need for it.
You just
It
have
might
to,
be.
the one thing with a Mach water coaster, you just have to have like the main drop just basically keep you bone dry, and then have one tiny little dip after it, which gets you soaked for the rest of the day. That's what Journey to Atlantis does every single fucking time you ride it.
Yeah,
You do the massive drop, you cruise for a little bit, turn to the right, you go like this.
Yeah.
And you might as well just jump in the water yourself. It gets you.
But it's the best. It's one of the best like off ride things to watch though, because people don't expect it. It's like no one after a lift hill. It's ridiculous. It's like the tiniest lift hill, like River Caves, and it just goes boom, 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 like that, and everyone the water just goes watch. Right,
literally, if you're in the front row, you're getting got. Like it literally just comes up like a wave, like over the front of the boat, and then
it's ridiculous.
I'm
sure I showed it you, James, when I came back. I showed you the off ride of it. But yeah, no, someone asked which one. The one at SeaWorld Orlando.
Yeah, I've seen POVs, and that does look like a crotch soaker. I'll not lie. Just the way it comes over your lap.
It's a good ride. It's a really good ride. And on that turn as well, people are soaking you as well from water pistols from off the ride. It's just brutal. It's just a brutal like attack.
I'm just excited that if it is a water ride, I don't care what it is, that makes me happy because I am a big advocate for water rides. I enjoy them and I rate a park on their water rides.
I do think
we need more of them.
Yeah,
we need more of them.
Lost loads.
Yeah,
same as like we've barely got any log flumes left now.
We got
any form of water
we
ride.
We need a Chiapas in the UK.
We do need a Chiapas in the UK. Like, imagine if it's this. Yeah, I was going to say, imagine if it's this.
That'd be sick.
Yeah, it would be sick. That would be so cool. Although it still would be quicker for me to go to Fantasyland to ride Chiapas.
Same.
than to go to Paultons. But it'd be nice. It'd be really good. But
I just think that like how Paultons used to be, not that I know much about it, but like before they had the rapid expansion, it was like the rest of the park was like that, and it did its job and everything. Now they're like so clearly going in a direction of thematic integrity and substance to their experiences and stuff, and like that area is the most. I wouldn't call it barren objectively, but it's like compared to the rest of the park, like it is the most barren section of the park.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been left behind, hasn't it?
That area needs like I said at the top.
Kira said Paultons has 5 zones at the moment: cars, dinosaurs, bugs, Peppa Pig, and
Bush.
Going back to bush talk, because obviously that row of bush is going to have to come out. Like,
oh no,
can we
relocate
which
the
will
bush?
be
Save
devastated.
the bush.
Relocate
Save the bush.
They're going to have to give the area a Brazilian.
Move the bush elsewhere. If someone loses a job because of this expansion, I will kick off. Relocate the bush.
Adopt it.
I'll have it in my house.
Put Paultons bush in your garden.
I'll charge you a little $5 to come
put it up for auction on eBay.
Yeah. Put it on there. Yeah. Get it on there. Cancel the ride. No. Yeah. It's good. It's great to see that you know, obviously what they've done's worked, so they're now able to invest in more rides and attractions down there. And the more projects they get down there, I think the more, in about 10 years' time, that park's going to be like really good. You know, if you keep adding things that people really want. It feels like
it already is really good. It's just it's not necessary. It's still a family park for younger kids. Though.
Yeah.
I loved it. I mean, but
it's a really it's
well done.
It's
right?
a really good quality product that is getting better every year.
I thoroughly enjoyed it, and if it weren't 8 years away, I'd
yeah, honestly,
it's so far in it.
It didn't take a week to get done.
It is stupid so how far away it is. It's like Oakwood of the South. It's just unnecessary.
It's going to be like the Berlin Wall, but instead bits of Paultons Bush randomly turn up in enthusiast gardens across the country.
Justice for the bush.
I'm
going to be checking out the plans.
Karen said, "Give him a chapass that weaves through the bushes."
Keep the bush.
Yeah.
Incorporate the bush. Bush the ride. I don't know.
Incorporate the bush.
It'd be a shame to lose such a wonderful piece of topiary, in my opinion. That's all I have to say.
Legitimize the bush.
Move on.
That's actually just a right of me. Sorry, add to the comment. I need to look out for that.
You need to trim your bush.
Wall. No, the section of Berlin Wall that's in Cologne Airport.
Oh yeah, there is.
Apparently they have a piece of it, and I did not see it. So
no, I didn't see it.
I actually didn't know that either.
Keep an eye out.
No, there is. There's a piece of the Berlin Wall in Cologne Airport. I don't know where it is though.
Yeah, that's something.
I never saw it.
No, I think it's one of them. You have to know it's there to see it, sort of thing.
That's interesting, though.
Yeah, but yeah, I think is that it for the news? I think it is.
Maybe Southampton Airport could reclaim a piece of Paultons Bush when that goes.
In arrivals, look at our lovely trimmed bush.
Bush Gardens.
Yeah.
Yeah, give it to Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. Pantheon needs some bushes.
Well trimmed bush.
So
as long
Emma,
as it doesn't get ruined, that's fine.
Getting away from this bush talk.
Emma, do you want to talk about this?
How was Barry Island? Barry Island.
I'm glad I've got that photo from my POV because I didn't have my eyes open for 1 second at the top of that ride.
I loved about that POV when you guys turned the camera around and you was like, I'm going to do no hands. Look, I'm going to do no hands. Like, oh, anyway,
so for those who didn't know, myself and Vix went down to South Wales. We went to Barry Island and Coney Beach. The main reason was, which is a stupid idea because I'm shit scared of heights, was to ride their new KMG Speed 32 Aerospace, which is just a big fucking booster for those that don't know. It's 217 foot tall, and that was the view from the top. I'll not lie, it was fucking disgusting. We sat at the top. We sat at the top of there for 6.5 minutes. It said on my GoPro, and I
wow!
Oh my god!
Really? They did that
how long the loading took.
I'm sure they saw me shedding.
Did you get unloaded first, though? By the way.
Oh, we did. Thank God.
Because I have seen a video where someone got loaded, held at the top, and then they got unloaded second.
That's
so they were stuck at the top again.
Because the rule with them rides generally follows that if you wait at the top at the beginning, you're off straight away. So you don't do it 2 times. If that had happened to me, they'd have got a strongly worded letter when I got off that ride. No, but the ride cycle itself, I think it goes up to 75 miles an hour.
Wow.
Was incredible. I loved it, the ride cycle. I just didn't want to sit at the top. If I could get on a quiet day where they were just loading one end and go for it, I'd ride it 20 times. But the sitting at the top thing, like, I started to panic. Those that know me, I don't do very well with being held up high.
No.
I could do lift hills on coasters because I'm straight up, straight down. But being held high, I can't cope. And I held on so fucking tight that my hands hurt. And I could feel, do you know when you started to go into like a panic and you could kind of feel it build from your feet and like you're like shit. It was proper shifting. It was. But the ride experience itself was incredible, and I would 100% tell people. I know Barry Island from me in Manchester in the north was 4 hours away, but it was worth it. It was worth it. It was, and Barry Island itself.
It looked good. It looked fun.
It's beautiful, like right on the seafront, and they've got a Mondial top scan, same as Samurai at Thorpe Park, for those that don't know. And if you've ridden Samurai and enjoy it, go and ride their top scan because it probably goes 10 times the speed, and it's bonkers. It's absolutely bonkers. It's gone straight to the top of my list of my favorite fairground machine. It was incredible. Like, we rode it twice. We rode it in the morning and it was nuts, and then we rode it at the end of the day, and even though it was a big queue, we got a longer, more mental cycle than the morning. You know, they didn't skimp on cycles.
Nice.
My favorite part was where the guy on the microphone stopped us and then went, yeah, now we're gonna move this bitch, and it just fucking went.
Can't do that in X sector.
No. And then we went the day after. We went just down the road about half an hour to Porthcawl to a little permanent fun fair called Coney Beach, and they for this year have Breakdance UK, which was in South Shields for a while. That was fucking incredible, and they also had a waltzer that I nearly died on. I have never in my life got airtime on a waltzer, but that place, Jesus Christ.
What the hell?
The hills on it were huge, right? So, you know, as it goes right. And then
they're going over them so quickly.
It was going over it so fast. So, like, waltzers, like, they're attached at the front, not at the back, and they pivot on themselves. Yeah. The back of the cars were jumping up and they're slamming back down. the guys spinning it on the platform were running around the platform and spinning it. It was incredible. Wow. That
sounds dope.
It's the best waltzer I've ever been on, and they've got a KMG afterburner, and they've got loads of cool stuff there, and it was really quite cheap. You got for 23 quid, you got 5 hours worth of riding.
Wow.
And we were there for about 3 hours. I could have stayed for 3 more if we didn't have to drive for 50 years to go home. But all in all, like, obviously it's more of a fairground based trip. I enjoy my fairgrounds, and for those that enjoy their fairground rides, do not miss out on those 2 parks, especially Coney Beach, because it's just been bought out by the council and it's going to be knocked down and redeveloped in the next 3 years.
Oh no.
It's been open for 100 years, Coney Beach.
Wow.
And the council have just gone, no, we're redeveloping, took the land back, and it's got 3 years left.
Wow.
So,
oh Jesus.
So
and if you count your creds.
Yeah, I'd say that Top Scan is the first is prototype, first one built.
It's fucking incredible. Honest to God, it was ridiculous. Like, I've got vlogs out on the channel from both the parks with POVs. You can see in the POVs how nuts they were. It was just, for those that enjoy their fairground attractions, don't miss it. It was brilliant.
It was mad how they slowed you down at the weird angles as well. Like, it slowed you right down as you were like tipping over, and then
you got forward and backwards cycle on it.
Yeah, but it's the way it slowed down. That slowed it down though. We were watching another pod, weren't we, James, of someone else riding it as well, and it was like literally they were pretty much rocking like backwards and forwards, upside down, like on an angle. It was so strange. Like, you never see like that far, but it's a shame.
It was incredible. Like, for me as a fun fair enthusiast as well as theme parks, like, I discovered so many new machines on that trip that have gone into my top 10 fairground machines. They've just got some incredible rides down there. So don't miss it. And you can make a weekend of it. And it's on the beach, it's on the sea.
Yeah, I was gonna reiterate Kiara's comment as well, saying if you're making the effort to go ride Megaphobia or just go to Oakwood in general, like, it sounds like Barry Island and Coney Beach are 2 like things you could throw into a weekend trip down
the first time I went to Barry Island was actually about 3 years ago, was on the way to Oakwood. We stopped because it's a long ass way, as we know. We stopped at Barry Island. It's a good way to spend a few hours. Like, the fair as well, I think there's 3 coaster creds at Barry, 3 at Coney Beach as well, if you collect them. A new coaster coming to Barry as well. And they're always swapping out the rides. You know, it's never the same year on year. So definitely worth it. Like, I had an absolute brilliant weekend. There was lots of beer, lots of rides.
Probably, about half an hour. They're not that far.
Yeah. That's a weekend. Well, you can turn a pilgrimage through Wales into a weekend trip that way.
And to be
brilliant.
both of them aren't too far from the M4 either, which is what you'd have to go via pretty much to get up to Oakwood anyway.
Yeah.
So it's not too bad.
As it's just said, Huss Breakdance and Mondale Top Scan, probably the best flat rides in existence. And they were like that breakdance was in South Shields last year. They're at Coney Beach for the whole of this season. And then he said that he's moving on next year. So if you're in the area, it's worth doing that breakdance. And the Death Waltzer as well. Like
Death Waltzer, is that what it's called?
Death Waltzer.
Or have you just named it that?
No, I call it that because
that would be great though on the the funfair art.
Death Waltzer.
Grim
I
Reaper.
think it's the
How many
original.
deaths have you had?
It's the original Thunderdome Waltzer, like the first one. There's a few Thunderdome Waltzers, but that was the original one. They just run incredibly well at both parks. They're so clean, so tidy, and they're both on the seafront. It's beautiful. Like if you're down there, don't miss them because there are some incredible machines.
Nice. That's cool. You know your shit about funfairs. That's crazy.
I love my funfairs. I'm as much a funfair enthusiast as I am a theme park enthusiast.
That's sick.
Oh,
I need to
2 quick
into
bits of
that.
news that we missed out on.
Oh, go on.
Dark Coaster has
Oh
opened.
yeah,
Oh,
that
shit.
thing opened.
That thing
Yeah,
opened. The one that I'm more excited about that's opened
Ah.
is actually open now. I saw a thing.
What's that?
Tundra Twister
Oh god,
is
yeah,
now
but
yeah.
officially
flats.
open, and that thing looks fucking mental.
Right, James.
2
can you get some-
Celicans on a giant arm.
Yeah.
Basically.
What are the stats for Tundra Twister? Like, do we still have the branding on it? No, we don't. Damn it. But it's a crazy number.
It's
just-
big and tall,
and
and
yeah,
it almost smacks Yukon Striker on the way up.
yeah, literally.
Height
Yeah.
is 40 meters,
Yeah.
which is in feet.
Yeah,
131 foot.
there you go.
Wow.
Yeah, it's fucking massive.
That's
Its swing radius literally goes right above Yukon's track.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally you are directly above Yukon's track when you get to one side of the swing,
That is bonkers, isn't
which
it?
is mental to think about.
Yeah.
I really want to go on that. It's right up my
Yeah,
street.
it looks
Like,
so much
Yeah,
fun.
I want
I'd shit a brick. Don't get me wrong, but I'd love to go on it.
And like some of the swings on it, because I watched when I was away this past weekend, we watched a sort of POV video of it, and like as it gets going and it gets into its valleys, because because the arms are free swinging, like you're literally like at some points, depending on how much weight is in the arm, obviously, like you're getting some fucking just outlandish swings
Yeah.
as you go through it, and as it twists as it goes through the valley as well.
Not only
Fucking-
that, it's the amount of
fucking
hang
insane.
time you're getting up there as well.
Yeah.
Like, I can imagine the 0G up there is just absolutely insane. Like
Mhm.
it's just prolonged. I mean, low key, Eliseberg, that thing when it gets to the top of what it's swinging on, you feel like you're just there hovering for a long time. And it's not a long time, but it just feels like a long time. So I can't even imagine how long.
I
it
can
would
see
be
what
on
ads are saying there, though. I'll
Yeah.
wait for one to turn up at a park which runs their flat rides at more than half speed. Because I know that thing is holding back. That can go a lot quicker.
I mean, but that's fun though, isn't it? So if another park can operate that at full speed, then whoa,
This is why I enjoy my fun fairs, because you get the flats that you get at theme parks, then you get the same flats at fun fairs that are run at the capacity they're supposed to run at,
yeah,
and they are twice as fast, twice as mental. That's why it's best of both worlds. You get to ride things that you get at Thorpe. for example.
Imagine a traveling
what-
Tundra Twister.
Where do you put
Oh,
it?
dude.
What little village would
you'd
you put
need
it
about
in? What
you'd
quick
need
car
about
park
5
would you need?
trailers to
Like,
transport it.
you need some fucking
Yeah,
mad.
yeah, now
close-down
watch Barry
co-op.
Island get one. Imagine Barry Island.
Yeah.
Mate, they've got that fuck off KMG, man. I wouldn't put it past it.
Which
So,
isn't
yeah.
that technically a traveling flat ride?
Yeah,
Like,
it
where
is. It's
the-
still on a trailer.
Like, where the hell do they put that in transit?
I don't know.
They hold
It's
it
a
up very well.
big truck. Yeah, they move it at like 4 a.m. when there's no
Right.
one on the road. They just move it where they can. But
Insane.
yeah, Dark Coaster. So you know more about this than most of us, Kyle. Do you want to talk about what Dark Coaster is?
I mean, this
Bush?
been a about for a little while. Yeah, it's a new roller coaster at Busch Gardens Williamsburg that's replacing the old Curse of Dark Castle dark ride they used to have there. Yeah, it's been open for a while. I've well, not for a while. It's still pretty newly opened, but it's been open for a minute, and yeah, some people have written it and said like it's not that great. I've watched the POV. Like I've watched the POV of it, and it's like it's all right. It's all right. Yeah,
I don't know much about this ride.
It's all right.
One that's on the jet ski.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
What I don't get it.
That is supposed to be.
I don't know anything about it. So why is that what it's supposed to be? I was like, why is there a jet ski inside like a castle thing? Like I don't get it. It makes. They
literally took the Intamin, I guess if we're calling it a straddle coaster, that model that Seas Parks have used for Wave Breaker at SeaWorld San Antonio and the new Arctic Rescue at SeaWorld San Diego, which is also recently opened. It's the same model, but it's the same model, but with like they're not custom trains. They've just used a stock model train and slapped fucking
pink
decals on it.
It don't make no sense to me.
Within the story, it's supposed to be. They're supposed to be snowmobiles, but they're clearly not.
They're fucking not. Like I say, I don't know much about it, but it's most definitely a jet ski. It's
absolutely, and it's like they haven't done much to really make the attraction live up to the popularity and notoriety that Curse of Dark Castle had, which doesn't surprise me in the slightest because it's Seas Parks, like it's SeaWorld Parks and Entertainment. They don't do fuck all for thematic integrity of their attractions anymore. But yeah, it's supposed to be just an indoor option for when the park runs during the winter, because they are open not 365 days a year, but they're open year round. So like through the what would normally be the off-season months, they're open on weekends now. So they stuck a coaster in that building basically to provide an inside option, to an inside open coaster option during the winter.
It just makes, why go for that model of coaster for an indoor coaster? That I just don't understand it.
Because it's something small. Because it's something small, and it was affordable for them. It doesn't take away from the fact that, well, it doesn't take away in terms of a major attraction option from Pantheon and what is quite heavily rumored to be their next coaster edition as well. Like it's not supposed to be something on the scale of that. It's just like an inside family option to add to the lineup. It was a cheaper option for them to go with. You know, it for anyone that I don't know, it's basically a filler attraction. If for anyone who, you know, spoiler alert, who's trying to get on it and don't want to know anything about it, it does basically 2 circuits round its layout.
Yeah,
like, but within the story, it's, you know, it's just a way to a cheaper way to get a coaster attraction in there and have some kind of, you know, thematic scenario going on and stuff. But I mean,
I just aware that I'm coming across as like, it is just a Thuzy point of view that's coming across from me now, isn't it? Because like only enthusiasts would be like, why the fuck are we jet skiing in a castle? Like, to the general public, they'll look at it and go, that's cool as fuck. But you know, from a Thuzy point of view, we all kind of sit there and go, why?
Exactly. I mean, like,
we don't know the reason.
Like, there is one effect towards the end of the ride which I did think was pretty cool, but the rest of it was kind of like like, you know, I'm not really. I mean, like, I texted as soon as I saw the POV of it, I texted Sean and just said, just don't expect much from it.
Don't expect much from that. Well, you mentioned about rumors for the next attraction. What are the rumors?
I mean,
is it the Giga?
There's talks of another RMC.
Oh,
another RMC hyper hybrid. that could pop up there. I think the like the ideas or plans or rumors or whatever they were for basically what was to be the other half of Pantheon being its own standalone roller coaster in Drakkenspire.
Oh.
That's pretty much been shelved because Pantheon was originally supposed to be over 300 feet tall, and they basically broke the concept up into two. One of them being what Pantheon is now, and the other side of it being what was going to turn out to be an Intamin shuttle coaster that had a 300+ foot spike on it.
Right.
Yeah, with a swing launch and all of that. That's apparently been shelved, and now there's other rumors of RMC being involved in that next coaster attraction. And if you look through the history of Busch Gardens Tampa and Busch Gardens Williamsburg, they've always gotten pretty similar coasters, around about the same time. Busch Gardens Tampa got Kumba, Busch Williamsburg got Drakkenfire, which is the play on words, Drakkenspire. Busch Gardens Tampa got Montu, Busch Williamsburg got Alpengeist. You know what I mean? So yeah, like there is a history
and something else. Then
maybe, yeah. I don't know how much truth or credence there is to that rumor, but
I mean, it's based on fact.
It kind of makes sense.
like you're saying, they got this.
Busch Tampa got Shikra. Busch Williamsburg got Griffin.
Yeah. So I mean, that's 3 bits of evidence to prove that that is how they buy the rides.
2 for $1.50.
And they're all the same manufacturer as well that you just named. Right. So it's
well, I mean, Kumba and Drakkenfire weren't like
but
Busch Gardens.
Kara said Busch Gardens Pepper. It's the only one she cares about.
What the fuck? Drakkenfire was originally supposed to be a B&M, but B&M were booked up at the time when they wanted it, so they went to Arrow instead, who could not make coasters like B&M.
That's a massive downgrade.
Well, evidently so, because I mean, Drakkenfire didn't last long because Arrow can't make coasters like B&M could in the 90s. So
no, Drakkenfire was that was a thing. That was a thing, an interesting thing.
I wish I could have gotten to ride it.
That's what I mean. Like, it looked really jank and shit, but at the same time, I want to ride it. Like, it's one of them. Caesar definitely multi-buying at the moment. RMC makes logical sense buying Quasi. Though a Giga also rumored for Tampa, so I could see that too. That'd be cool. That was from ads, by the way. I just forgot to press the comment because I don't know why. But yeah. So that's cool. But Dark Coaster. If you get out and ride it, guys, let us know your thoughts in the comments and in the chat. I'd be interested.
It runs 2 5-car trains,
right?
Each car holding 2 riders. So that is a total of 10 riders per train.
Put monster then.
It runs 2 of them.
An absolute.
I've been hearing things along the line of 300 to 400 riders an hour.
Fuck! Wow! Wow!
The capacity is disgraceful for it. Apparently.
Wow! That's mad.
So if you're out there anytime soon, like we know Sean is.
Yeah, I'd be interested.
Probably best to hit that first.
Get out of the way.
Get out of the way. And if you're doing what Sean's doing, if you go for more than 1 day, it's because Busch Gardens Williamsburg is a 2-part day for sure. To get everyone to.
That's the same better than Mandrill.
2-day park even. Yeah.
I feel sorry for the Mandrill hosts. They were sprinting to check restraints.
Yeah.
Mandrill, man. Yeah, I was just going to ask that. Like, does anybody know what the capacity has been at for that? Like, because we're all going, what's the capacity going to be like? No one's gone, so what's the actual capacity? Like, Harry, Coastbot, where you at, bro? Get down there.
I feel like the first day people were using the app to try and figure it out, and I think it was showing at about 800.
Are they still not letting people queue in the station?
Really, 800?
Nope.
Yeah, that's because the gates are too short, right?
So
it's the gates and it's a bit of a weird.
Whack a bit of cardboard on it, and it makes it taller. It's fine.
It wouldn't be so bad if they let the group that was going to be the other side of the bridge wait at the other side of the bridge. but they don't. They make them wait until the train's ready to load, and then they have to run over the bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah, as says,
Random.
averages somewhere between 360 people per hour. As Greeley said, 300 to 400. Yeah, that's
Yeah, I mean that 800 might have been literally like a really good hour that someone managed to get it on. But yeah.
Well, bad maths, one of the two.
400. That's pretty abysmal.
But yeah.
Have we covered the news now before Sean shouts at us in the chat?
Yeah. Sorry, Joe.
that all
It was
of it?
Joe. It was Joe.
The Joe. Joanne.
Yeah.
Call on the
Joanne.
Dark coaster. The Joanne. Oh my god. You said it like you were calling her in for a tea then.
Joanne.
Joanne!
Joanne!
Street lights are on, get in!
Fucking hell, what are you doing out this time?
I have told you 3 times.
10 minutes! No, in now. Oh dear. Yeah, Mikhail, go on, bro. What did you do? What did you do recently? Tell us about what you did.
I have been away for an extended weekend visiting some friends in Cincinnati, Ohio. I was in town for the fabled event at Holiday World, now Hollywood Nights. I'm trying to think how to word this. I won't really speak. Like, for me personally, it is a great event, and I do think everyone should try and get there to experience it at least once. For me, unfortunately, it was a bit of a mixed experience for me. There were really great parts of it, and parts of it that just I certain things about it I'm not gonna speak about on a podcast, but yeah, like, it was not quite everything I wanted it to be. I personally don't feel the need to go back, but like that's the thing. Like, it's not for everyone. It is a high octane event at its peak, and it's not for everyone. I think everyone should go and experience it. Everyone who knows about Holiday World, everyone who knows about the Voyage, which I'll get to.
We'll get to
everyone that knows about it should definitely go and experience it at least once and decide for yourselves if it is something that you would like to keep returning to. Because I mean, I completely understand why it has the notoriety that it does, but you know, I have my own reasons for not particularly wanting to go back. But yeah, it's overwhelming.
Yeah, I could get that. Yeah,
it can be very overwhelming. Which I've been kind of going back and forth in my head, because when we get together for whatever events it might be at Pleasure Beach, like the PB event, or if it's just us, you know, getting a bunch of us together, you know, at PB and at Pleasure Beach, and where rowdy, and you know, there's been drinks involved, and we're all in Icon Station or Big One Station or whatever. It's kind of the same environment, but I think I'm realizing within myself that there are times where I really can get involved in that stuff, and times where I just can't.
That's exactly how I feel when I go on an event. It's like I want to, but I also want to chill out. You know, I'm at a park. I want to check out. I want to take photos. I want to do videos. I want to get content. I want to, you know, I need to do that kind of stuff as well, because that's why I love doing what I do. And it's, you know, it's doing different rides you don't normally get a chance to if you're on the park for a long time, or if you get an ERS or an ERT on a certain ride. You don't need to do that ride, so you can concentrate on other rides and do all that kind of stuff. And I don't necessarily want to drink all the time at a park as well. I like to take it easy sometimes, but then there's other times where I just want to get fucked up and just have the best time ever. So it's it swings and roundabouts really, but it's
Yeah, it depends what you want to make of the day, because
Yeah,
like you
exactly.
say, events can be a lot, because especially when
Yeah.
there's a lot going on, it's like do, and then
Emma,
everyone's
I
so many
drank
people
so
there.
much on the ECC event at Leesburg. Before they'd opened the gates, I think I was like 9 pints deep to go in
Oh,
in the
lad.
evening. I was
Yeah.
like, am I going to make it? Apparently, it was Hermes as well. I was like, oh, fucking hell. Like, I need to just stop a sec and just, realize where I am. I'm in the Grand Curiosa. I'm having some Swedish beer, getting absolutely fucked up. But in an hour's time, I'm going to be on top of top of Boulder up there racing around,
Yeah.
stupid amounts of airtime and stuff. It was, yeah.
Just to answer a
it's one of
question,
them.
just to answer a question in the chat, Techno Andrew says, "Do you have to be an ACE member to go to a Hollywood Nights?" You have to be a member of a coaster club that is on their list. So like, I'm a member of Buzzed Bars Coaster Club. Ace is on the list of clubs that they welcome. Ace, Roller Coaster Club of Great Britain, European Coaster Club,
ECT.
European Coast Club is on there. They like, and there's a few others as well. I can't remember all of them, but those are all on the list of club members that they welcome, and that's another thing as well that you have to take into account. Obviously, with you guys' Leesburg event that had like ECC it wasn't just ECC members. It was members from multiple clubs that were there as well. It's kind of the same deal, and again, like, this is where I say where it's not for everyone, because if you're someone who joined up to a club for very specific reasons, that you like the people that are a part of that club more so than people from another club, then you run the risk of exposing yourself to other people from other clubs who you're not used to being around. And some people love that, and some people love just like the melting pot that can become. Especially just to use the example, especially when you have a ride like Voyage involved, and that station just becomes just like the most one of the most overwhelming station atmospheres I've been a part of. Some people love that. Some people go to Hollywood Nights purely for that, and for some people it is the worst thing on earth.
I get that, 100%.
Yeah, and
it can be a lot.
Again, like, it can be a whole lot. And again, like, there are times where I can embrace that, and times where I just like I want to be with my people, So like with these events, it's good to take that into account in terms of picking the events where it is just your people involved versus events that involve other clubs as well.
Yeah, I get that. I can imagine there being a lot of different personalities and people clashing, and also there's people having just
huge personalities in these clubs.
Yeah,
and they do clash.
So going into the event itself, what did you get coaster-wise on the event? What were the kind of things that you got to experience that not everyone can?
On the Friday, we did a walk back of the Voyage and Thunderbird, which, if you don't know much about Holiday World, they're two roller coasters right in the back of the park. I mean, this part of it is one of the reasons why I'm gonna really go off about Voyage in a little bit, but yeah, they're right in the back of the park. Both very forested, so like, and they keep both of them running while we're doing that. It's all supervised by Holiday World staff and directors and higher up, so they keep it as safe as possible. They tell us where we can go and where we can't, but they take us they did on this occasion. I'm not sure if they do it every time. They took us all the way to the back of Voyage's spaghetti ball, like right to the back of the layout. And I mean, Voyage is one of the most well-known coasters on planet Earth. It's nearly 20 years old now. Like, most people will have seen a POV of Voyage, right?
Yeah.
It is not until, and again, like, not everyone has the ability to be able to do this like as freely as people who live over here do. it is not until you get on that walk back to the back of the layout within the spaghetti bowl that you realize just how much elevation change Voyage goes through.
Right, yeah.
It's like Tiger. Like it is like I could not
Is it really that bad? Yeah.
It is. It's like it's full on terrain coaster.
Wow.
You can't see it on POVs that well. You can't really see it on ride unless you're really looking for it. It's not until like, and I thought it was just the uphill climb going up towards the spaghetti ball where it was like elevation change. Oh no. Once you get to a certain point right before the track starts twisting around and everything in the back,
yeah,
you're going down steep like the track's going down steep hills. There's valleys everywhere. You're going down like the pathway that they take you down is basically around the left side of the spaghetti ball and then back up through the middle. But there's a point that you can get to. You have to turn back around and go back the way you came. But like, you're going like down steep hills. You're going all the way down to like basically the bottom level of the back portion of the layout, and then like you come back up towards a certain point, and then again you have to turn around and go back. But I mean, like I was not aware. That is full on terrain coaster. As much as Helix, as much as Nemesis, as much as Tiger, it is full on.
Yeah, you don't realize that because you've seen.
You don't see it.
I've never read it. I've only ever watched POVs, and it doesn't look.
It doesn't look it. It doesn't look it.
It looks like a long ass coaster, but you can never tell from watching a POV.
You know what? You can see it from maps a little bit. I'm just looking at it now on maps, and you can see it. Like how that is.
I was not aware. Wow. I was not aware. I was aware, but I wasn't that aware. You know what I mean? And yeah, that is a really eye-opening experience in that sense. And you get to see Thunderbird as well. It's a good little activity. What were you gonna say?
So how many rides on the Voyage did you get before you thought you were gonna die?
I lost count, honestly.
Did you get trimless rides?
A good few. Yeah.
Hey, did it?
Yeah, they turn the trims off at night.
Was it as mental as I imagine it would be?
It is a biblical experience.
Was that at night as well?
Because obviously,
was that at night as well?
Yeah.
So it's just
they turn it off. They turn it off at night. They leave it on during the day.
So obviously, when it comes up to where the trims are on a normal day, it would trim and then drop down the hill. Does it just carry on going?
Yeah. The crazy thing is, like when it trims, it trims hard.
Yeah, it does.
Like it trims the shit out. It trims the shit out of the ride. But then so like I might as well just go into it. So when I rode Voyage the first time in 2019, it like I've said before, it wasn't running well, and like after the trims. After the mid course, like going back through the return route, the return leg of the layout, I was kind of it got to a point like I keep my hands up on every ride I ride, but like I kept my hands up and I was like, can I put my hands down yet? Like this has been going on forever. It's still going. It's still going. Wow. It wasn't hitting that hard to where the adrenaline was still kicking in for me to keep my arms up. I was just it was like my arms are getting tired. Can I put them down yet?
I just enjoy now. Yeah.
All that to say, it wasn't running great. I can't remember if I said this to you guys. I said it to somebody when I first got off my first couple of rides on it during the day when it was still trimmed. From these rides before even getting it at night, before getting it trimless.
Just changed.
Obliterated my rides I got in 2019. Obliterated them.
That's mad.
Glad to hear that.
Yeah, that's so good then, because that means that you did just get it on an off day.
on an off just period of time. Because again, like that was the year they closed it real early in the season to give it extensive retracking. But yeah, literally after the first ride, I was like, this is what I was looking for 4 years ago.
It's so nice when that happens. Like, you know, because for example, I rode Megaphobia a few years ago and I was so looking forward to it and everyone hyped it up and I thought it was terrible. And it's like, I'm waiting to go back. Of course, now it's going to be a completely different ride. But, you know, you hope that when you ride it again, that it was just an off day and it's just not as, you know, shit as you thought it was. Because you know, because you are in danger of hyping rides up. You know, everyone talks about it, especially something like the Voyage, that you hype it up so much and you ride it and you go, oh. But I'm just so glad that you went back and, like, even with trims on, and it could, you know, it completely changed it for you. I'm glad because there's nothing worse than hyping something up and then it is a bit pants.
For sure. Yeah.
When you did it trimless at night, did you get a back row?
Oh yeah, I got back row. Was it
row,
second to
back,
like
holy shit? Like maybe I do need to hold on.
Well, see, no, that's the funny thing. And thinking about it, like over the past couple of days since the event, it's like it gave me that same feeling that, you know, the likes of, you know, Outlaw Run, Fury 325, Lightning Rods, I don't like all of those, Velocicoaster, all of those. But the retracking they've done on it is so, like it's always been good. Like the retracking that Gravity Group do for Voyage has always been amongst the best that they do for wooden that they do for wooden coasters. But there were times where it was taking like some of the like the otherwise janky transitions that it has and just the sort of like unorthodox sort of transition, like unorthodox airtime moments that it has and stuff. And it was just taking them so fluidly. I remember just seeing just in my peripheral, just seeing the train or the car I'm in just move so cleanly with the track, and I was like, this is not many wooden coasters feel like this.
Yeah, because
many wooden
you
coasters
see it, don't
feel
you? Like,
how they're actually supposed to ride.
Yeah, coasters have trims for a reason, and then when you are in danger of thinking, you know, if they're going to take them trims off, is it just going to ricochet from fucking side to side and be awful because, you know, it's not got them trims that it needs sometimes. But then to hear you say that with no trims and running at whatever speed, that it was still like moving well and not just battering you to death.
Yeah. So I didn't feel the need to be like, oh, I need to hang on here, because it was just moving. It was just moving. Yeah, it was moving so well. It moved. It still felt like a wooden coaster, but like it just moved like the train tracked fluidly.
Yeah,
you know, and it's a testament to the pre-cut track. You know, the pre-cut track method that Gravity Group has brought in for. Well, not only Voyage, but like they've used it on Voyage, and then just like the quality of the normal retrack that they do on Voyage as well. Once they figure out how to implement turning in this pre-cut track, it's a game changer. It's a game changer.
Do you think a lot of coasters will be retracked with that method?
Potentially,
once they've done that.
I would like to see it.
Yeah,
I would like to see it, dude. The first half of this thing, the first like 3 airtime hills before it gets to the spaghetti bowl section, the top spaghetti bowl section, because there's 2 spaghetti bowl sections in my head. There's the top one and the bottom one before the brakes. The first 3 hills were giving B&M hyper airtime.
Yeah.
Like a bunch of us were saying it. It feels like a B&M hyper.
Wow, that is so amazing.
Like, and then it like it literally feels like B&M hyper airtime. It feels like I'm on Shambhala, or feels like I'm on you know, like
Mako,
Nitro, or maybe not Mako. It's not that strong, but like,
like calm down.
But that floaty airtime,
right? Okay,
it's right there. It's right there.
Gecko Gamer asked a question: how does it compare to the Intamin prefab track?
Like they're trying to accomplish different things in my eyes.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Intamin prefabs.
Well, let's just say on
Like-
them airtime moments, like, is it as smooth as the prefabs have it?
Well, I mean, from my recollection of El Toro, I've not ridden El Toro since 2017, but 2018, sorry, 2018. Like that. So I'll put it this way: Gravity Group's Gravity Group haven't figured out how to do pre-cut track to the degree that Intamin have yet.
Right. Okay.
Because I mean, you see with Baldy, you see with El Toro, you see with T Express, you see with Colossus, like, you know, they can Intamin can do turns and quick transitions and airtime that gives like plus minus 1 Gs, like and above and stuff.
We can vouch for that.
Gravity, yeah, right. Gravity Group. I'm not gonna let me tell that, but I'm not gonna go as far as say they can't do it. They just haven't yet.
They haven't done it yet on a coast.
Yeah. So like the airtime on, I mean, the only Intamin prefab I've ridden is El Toro. So,
right.
But like the airtime is it's RMC level airtime on those hills. This is not that, but it's going in the right. It's going in the right direction. It's going in the right direction for sure. And so like it's two different experiences in that sense. This pre-cut track currently works well on wooden coasters within their parameters. Not necessarily to turn them into El Toro or Boulder, or you know what I mean.
Speak of the devil.
We shall appear.
I bloody made it.
Hello.
There we go.
And good night, everybody.
And that's it. Thanks for watching, guys.
Are you still going? Are you still alive? Jesus, man.
Yeah.
Clearly.
You're not here to tell us off.
For the benefit of the podcast listeners, Sean has now appeared. For
the benefit of podcast listeners, Sean has got a mega tan. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
What have you been doing?
Yeah. Just working outside and then Great Yarmouth. And then it started with Park Asterix. That was the tan. And that was just topped up.
In his garden, painting himself with creosote. Preparing himself for summer. In his speedos, just painting himself.
Through his bush.
I don't know what I'm going to be like when I come back from America. Like, I'm just going to be...
It's not if there's anything like my past weekend, prepare yourself. It was.
I'm gonna have to start going topless. I'm gonna have to start walking topless around parks because I'm literally a milk bottle. Like I've got literally just like a t-shirt.
You got the golfer's tan, where it's just like you got a white shirt on underneath. But yeah. Anyway, Mikhail, he rudely interrupted you about Voyage.
Yeah, dickhead. I'm joking.
We still Voyage. I left out the car. You're still talking about Voyage.
Mind your fucking business, Sean. Don't just walk in.
I've got to come in and disrupt it. I've got to.
Right?
Carry on.
And shut up. Carry on, Mikhail. Sorry about that.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I mean, like trimless fucking Voyage, like the first three hills, B&M hyper energy all the way through, and then it turns into an RMC after. Not in terms of the strength of the airtime, but just the unorthodoxness of the airtime moments, I'd say, because like you're getting like twisting airtime moments where it's just, you know, it's snapping back to like 0 degrees banking and then going again. It's swooping through turns. It's rising back up. Like there's 90-degree turns everywhere. There's like times where the track's just twisting on itself before it gets to its next moment and stuff. Like there's a lot of unique transitions and airtime moments on there that I had completely forgotten about until riding it again. And it's such a unique experience in the sense that it is so long, but it literally it does not let up. It does not let up. In that bottom spaghetti bowl section, it is literally going as fast as it is throughout the rest of the ride. Like it's insane, and that's why it's now my favorite wooden coaster.
I was
Because
going to say, does it sit in your top 10?
I have it at number 4.
Whoa!
Oh,
Yeah.
Whoa!
It's every. I'm devastated to report it is everything the Americans say it is.
Where was it? Where did it sit before? Where was it before in your ranking?
Before this weekend, I had it at 17.
Eee!
Whoa!
So
Yeah,
it really
big jump.
redeemed
yeah,
itself.
that's
then.
really
It's.
difference. Then.
I'll say that's a tentative 4. I still need to really confirm where it is.
penciled in.
Yeah.
I have it above Lightning Rod. I have it above Outlaw Run. Outlaw Run is now number 6 for me, which is really sad because I wanted to keep it in my top 5. But yeah, so it's a tentative 4, but it is everything it everyone talks about it being.
Oh, God.
It is properly fucking incredible.
But
So
I
what
just
other
wanna-
coasters?
It's a
Sorry,
special experience.
I was going to ask you. I saw something about a bat. About you riding a.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right, so I'd forgot about that. Yeah, so
Calm down, Chris. It's not a real.
oh no, it is. It's a real bat.
Oh shit! I retract my statement.
It was
Chris,
a real bat. So
The real
I
bad.
rode the Legend, which is another wooden coaster, a CCI wooden coaster at Hollywood, and a fucking good one. That might be my favorite CCI. That thing is amazing. And yeah, there was a bat. There was a live bat in the car in the car on my train. I was talking to somebody who I'd just met like on the weekend. He was in the row behind me, and we were just like introducing ourselves and stuff. And I just feel this thing just jump on my leg, and I thought, is that a leaf or something? Like what the fuck? And so I just brush it off. And then we get back to we're in the station. We're just leaving the station at the time, and we're just leaving. I just brush this thing off. I don't know what it is, and just talking with the guy behind me. We go up the lift, we do the ride, we come back, we hit the brakes, come back into the station. This thing jumps on my leg again. I'm like, what the fuck is this thing on my leg? So I brush it off again, and I look down, and that's when I see it's a live fucking bat on the floor of the train.
Oh.
I'm like, there's a fucking bat in there's a fucking bat in the train. Yeah, it was fine. There was a fucking bat on the train. It crawled underneath my seat to the row behind me and jumped on my friend's foot after. He starts freaking out.
Yeah, there's a video of them getting like.
Yeah. So Austin from Amusement Insider was there as well. And he was further on in the train, and his friend Nick is the guy who was behind me. I got to introduce each other to, just got to meet their group. They're a bunch of great guys. And yeah, like Nick was freaking out. So we got the ride lead over. He brings over like a laminated piece of paper, gets the bat onto. We've all gotten out of the train. He gets the bat onto the piece of paper, just picks it up, and then the bat just jumps off the paper and flies out the station.
Oh,
There it is.
And that's it.
Wow.
oh,
It's not like terror scream or about bats.
But it goes, it's coming this way.
It's cute. when
Talking
it's-
of animals on coasters, though, I did see a dog ride a roller coaster last week. That was exquisite.
What?
I went to
Where?
Wales to Greenwood Park and
Oh,
rode
right.
the Green Dragon people powered coaster, and there was a dog in the queue, and we were like, "Oh, joking! The dog's gonna get on the coaster." The dog rode the coaster. It was incredible.
Claire said we need the bat.
We need the
ranking.
bat
We need to know what the bat falls.
Yeah. That just what it. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, Claire says I actually screamed when you tweeted about that. I was like, because Claire commented on my tweet about it, and I was just like, "You just want to this one, mate." Just bats can keep credit counts as well.
Kira said that case is going to grow up to fight crime.
It's the actual Batman coaster, not
the
these
actual
knockoffs.
Batman the Ride.
That's the
Batman the
actual.
Ride.
That's the actual B&M one. That's the original.
Alicia was there to see the dog.
Hell, man.
She witnessed dog. We were both amused.
What kind of dog were it?
incredible.
Was it a big dog?
So fucking funny.
It's a little dog.
A little dog.
But it was quite a lengthy coaster. The dog, there was no seatbelts.
Imagine we were like a Great Dane or something.
Yeah.
Just drop it in.
He sat on his bum with his hands up. Whoa!
Woof.
Amazing.
Yeah, incredible.
So what other coaster did you get like ERSs on? Did you do Thunderbird?
It was ERT on basically their 5 coasters, like Voyage, Legend, Raven, Thunderbird, and the little kiddie coaster as well, Howler, because they know because they are fully aware of how enthusiasts are and know that enthusiasts gonna want the credit.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was ERT. There was Water Park ERT.
Oh wow.
Like for all their water park is massive, and all of their water coasters that they have there, they had ERT on those as well. We had a Thanksgiving dinner on this Saturday night, which
did you see Santa?
I mean, there wasn't anybody dressed up as Santa there. But, I mean, there's a Santa Claus statue in the Christmas area.
Good enough.
In the Christmas area.
Because I remember when Carl went, he met Santa because that's the only request I had.
Oh
was
God!
Like,
isn't that like an extremely hot part of the country as well?
Yeah.
Is it like
imagine
wearing a Santa Santa costume?
It's the Midwest. They fucking.
I was very confused about the whole Santa thing.
It was 30-something degrees while we were there. It was hot as fuck. It was hot as balls.
I was very confused at why there's loads of Santa and Christmas stuff, and I realized the town is called Santa Claus.
Yeah,
it
used to be called what was it? It used to be called Santa Land or what was it?
I cannot remember. Oh, the park itself.
Yes,
something like that. Yeah, I can't remember.
Christmas Land or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. So like the front area.
I know it's Christmas Lake.
The front area is themed to Christmas, and it's like all of the areas are themed.
Was the bat in the Halloween land?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh.
Even better.
Yes, all of us were making the Halloween theming jokes. Like all of us ran through that joke multiple times. But yeah, there's a Halloween section where Raven and Legend and the Bat was, and the Thanksgiving section where Voyage and Thunderbird is the 4th of July section in there as well. And it's
How did the Thanksgiving dinner compare to a Christmas dinner? Was it on par or was it shit?
It was neither. Like it wasn't shit, but it's nothing like.
It's not as good as a good old Christmas dinner.
Yeah. But yeah, like that was that. Like I said, I don't have much desire to go back to Hollywood Nights personally, but I would love to go back to.
But the park, the
actual park itself, I will always return to. It's such a great example of how a park can operate while prioritizing guest experience.
Unlimited drinks, man.
Free drinks.
Mate, imagine free sunscreen. Go to the toilet in one day at that park.
Legoland sunscreen. You never need it, but
free. It's Legoland. It's in England.
I don't know, bro. It's hot.
Yeah, free drinks, free sunscreen. All of the staff are just so friendly. They're all happy to be working there. They're all proud of the place. Got to meet Leah Cook from the Cook family who owns the park.
Wow,
she's great. All of their director staff and the higher up staff, like they're all such great people.
Yeah,
they are a prime example of how to be prioritize the guest experience and be transparent in your communication and just be relatable. Like have
Yeah.
to be able to get onto the level of the guests and stuff.
Yeah, I saw that.
They
Like
are-
I said,
they are
Carl's been. I've not, but I edited his vlog because Carl doesn't edit. So I lived it through his eyes, and I got that through his footage and stuff.
Yeah.
That like the staff could not do more for you if they
Yeah.
tried. Like they're really guest centered at that park.
Yeah, for sure. I also went to
Kira. I don't think there is. I don't think there is not.
We
a
didn't get the
friend,
photo.
which
I
she calls
should have
herself a
bought the
vlogger.
on-ride photo of the dog, shouldn't I?
Yeah, exactly. Like someone bought the.
Dog tax.
It's like someone bought the on-ride photo of the water dummy on 13 when they had.
Yeah. What a dummy cred.
Definitely.
But yeah.
That's cool. Well, so the obviously I heard a little bit about your experience of the event itself. Is it like a busy event? Is there a lot of people? Or is it quite? It's just a mix of people.
It's
really?
a mix. It's a mix of people more so than anything. Like they capped this. Because a few years ago they had over 1,000 people at the event, and it was hell on earth.
Right. Yeah.
And
It's not a park,
I mean, it's not a big park, and
Wow.
like 1,000 people like in any park is not much, but
they're all going to the same rides.
they're all going to the same rides. Not only are they all going to the same rides, they're all going to the same one ride.
Yeah.
They're all going to Voyage.
Yeah.
And so like.
So you end up getting an hour-long queue.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
That's not fun. That's not what you want for an event. When you have exclusive
like,
rides,
people
be
are going
queuing
there and
for
getting like 1 to 3 rides on Voyage, and it's like
it's fucking pointless. It's not what events are about, is it?
So like this one, they capped it at like. Well, I mean, there was somewhere within the region of like 500 to 600 people there or something like that, or maybe 650 people there or something like that. But again, like it's the same thing. Everyone's going for the exact same reason. Everyone's going to haul the shit out of Voyage for 2 nights straight. So like, everyone's all in the same. Like, no matter how much they cap it, everyone's going for the same reason. That station is just packed out from pretty much from start to finish, and it's a lot. It's a lot to do.
I can see how that could be overwhelming. Yeah.
Right. Should we talk about the main topic because it's
We probably should.
it?
Yeah.
Crack the whip, Sean.
I forgot we had a main topic. To be honest with you.
So this is quite. We have talked loosely about these topics before, like about events and things like that. But I just thought it'd be quite cool to just talk about genuinely how all of us really have. I know, like most of us now, probably speak to our friends who are enthusiasts. We speak to like on a daily basis. Probably as much as like our non-enthusiast friends or equal to. Do you know what I mean? So how we went around finding friends and things, because those are different ways. Obviously,
I don't speak to you guys even nearly as much as I need to be.
But you've got I know, but that's the way it goes, isn't it? It's a bit busy life, but like
at the moment.
I know, for example, McCall, you spend quite a bit of time in like this, like in groups and things as well, don't you?
Yeah,
like, you used to. I don't know if you still do, but
yeah. I mean, most of my time talking to theme park friends, I talk to a specific set of theme park friends. I don't speak to everyone who's on Twitter and Discord and all the rest of it, but that's where my people are. So.
To be fair, you say we don't talk nearly as much, but most weeks we're doing like a nearly 2 hour, like talking for like 2 hours.
Yeah,
I know it's
it's quite
a lot. Like
within the scope of talking every day. Like, my contribution is just throwing news topics into the chat to get ready for the next episode.
Yeah.
My contribution will be start a podcast. No, wait, don't. We don't want more competition.
I think for me, right, before I was an enthusiast, I can honestly say that I had like one friend, and that was Carl. Proper friends, not people I knew. Like Jakovics, I've known them for like 10 odd years and stuff, and we'd speak. But in terms of regularly, like Carl was not a pity party, but was my only like real friend that I spoke to every day. And then I think it makes a difference because we have a channel. I think that makes it easier to make friends because you know, you bump into another vlogger and then you speak, or then you get people that come up to you who have watched your vlogs and then you become friends and stuff. But I can categorically state that since I started vlogging or became an enthusiast, I've never had so many friends in my life. And yeah, I have a core bunch of friends. For example, Sean, I speak to every day. Big up Snick Snacks. You know, I have my little group.
Don't give the group name away. Oh my god.
It's not Snacks. But I could genuinely hand on heart say that enthusiasts are some of my closest friends, which I'm so grateful for because I've always been a bit of a loner. Like, not because I'm a bitch. I'm just quite, believe it or not, I'm quite shy and withdrawn. But then because I now had people that were on my level and shared the same interests, I find them easier to talk to because I could just non-enthusiast friends. I can't just bring up conversation about coasters because they'll just go, "Oh, here she goes again," and just ignore me. Whereas I could drop something in a group chat and go, "Oh my god, have you seen this?" and it interrupts into a whole conversation because we're all on the same level and we all enjoy
genuinely excited. That's that, and that you know, is that you're genuinely excited and passionate about something, and it's just like. It's like any hobby. Like if the hardest thing about making friends is being like, well, what do we talk about? You know, and then as soon as you have like a common interest, like that's your starting point. And you know, and it's a similar thing with you, to be honest, Emma. Is like if I don't think I'd started my YouTube channel, I don't think I'd have the friends I have now. Just because
I
like,
wouldn't have met you. I wouldn't have met you and spoke to you.
I wouldn't have met any of you.
I could categorically say that becoming an enthusiast and becoming like a vlogger changed my life because I had Carl and people that I knew. I wouldn't say they were close friends, just people I knew. I was out every weekend in the pub pissing my money up the wall because I had nothing better to do. Whereas now, obviously, being an enthusiast is fucking expensive, but I'm spending my money on something worthwhile, something that I enjoy,
things
and not just in the pub every week. And the memories that I have, and like say I have my core group of friends. I speak to them every day. We go on holidays together, you know, cred holidays and whatnot, and it 100% changed my life for the better. And I can't imagine not being an enthusiast. I mean, without going too deep into my personal life, going back 6 years ago, I would never have been an enthusiast because I was in a situation that was very difficult and stuff. And then after coming out of that and being finally able to do what I want to do, and I'm sure Carl would be grateful for the fact that I turned around to Carl and was like, let's start a YouTube channel. Because he's in the same boat as me now, where he's got all these friends who are real friends. I'm not just licking anyone's arse and saying that. Genuinely real friends. And it's changed my life, and for the better, 1,000,000%. And I just can't imagine not having theme parks in my life because it's a wholesome way to spend your time.
Going wee on Kiddie Creds. It's great.
Yeah.
So fun. It's so fun. It's honestly so fun. Shouting egg on the egg.
Kiddie Creds. Great.
Yeah, we got to the egg.
Sometimes they're the best times you can have.
Yeah.
Mate, we got on the kiddie cred after we did Underland and Liseberg, and we were like, are we going to get on?
Tiny kiddie cred.
Tiny, right? And we were like, are we going to be able to get on? And we were like,
I thought it was going to break while we were on it.
Yeah.
Honestly.
We were on it, and we even saw people just like looking and laughing at us and pointing at us, going, you know, cred hunters and all this shit. It's like, so you're getting on next, and they were like, fucking yeah, we are.
Honestly, God, we were in Great Yarmouth at the weekend, me and Sean, with a big group of us, and the kiddie creds were legitimately the highlight of my weekend. Like, we got on the Wacky Worm at Great Yarmouth Pleasure Beach, and there was like a family sat at the front, a family sat at the back, and then it was just all us enthusiasts. The whole three laps, we just chanted all the way around, being stupid.
Just
and even the ride up was like, come on.
We was like coming around, and then it was going, oh, right. And then we dropped down, way. And then like by the second lap, like the kid in front of me and Chris was just also joining in, like, and it was just like, it was just so funny. And then
we got on the Egg Coaster Express at Pleasurewood Hills, and honest to God, they're fucking long trains. So of course we were only half the train. And
decent coaster,
just like
well.
The general public would have sat on that train as we were in the station, just going egg, and they're all like, what the fuck is going? Even though, like the guy checking the restraints, you could tell by his face. He was like, I don't understand. Aggie. It was genuinely incredible.
But yeah, it's good. One thing I want to mention as well is it blew my mind. It kind of when we went to Park Asterix for Utitatis opening, like that was such a crazy experience because I've never been to I don't think I've ever been to a major coaster opening, like opening day. When I say major, I mean like a major coaster.
Yeah.
Not just not just Jumanji, even though it's a great area and stuff, but like a big one. And so it's weird to be in like another country and then just bump into people you see all the time. And going back to what you were saying, Emma, like, yeah, same with me. Me and Joe were just basically, we had like our old uni friends we'd see like once a month or whatever. I love going to see them. But now we can go to another country and just bump into people. We did it in Fantasyland. We was in Fantasyland, bumped into about 10 different people. I didn't even know it was going to be there. And then like, you know, Claire and Carly come and met us at one night, and I was just like, it's just so mad how you go from like not really having that many friends to suddenly like just going around the world and being like, oh yeah, I'm here as well, should we go meet up? And you're like, okay.
Yeah. You know what I love as well? What I love as well is that you get people on socials, like even people in the chat here as well, that you have never met before in person, but you chat to them like you've known them your whole life. And then one day you'll bump into each other and it's like you've been friends for years. Like there's no awkwardness because you have that common ground. Like, for example, I went to Wales last weekend and a bloke, Kev Stockwell, who's a funfair enthusiast, he vlogs with a funfair channel, and he was like, oh, I really want to go, could I tag along? And I was like, I'd spoke to him online for years, and I was like, I'd never met him before in my life, and he came along with me and Vic, and we just had this incredible weekend because we were genuinely excited to be riding some funfair rides together, you know. And it's like I've known him and met him 100 times. It was just, I just love the fact that because you share a common ground, that you just meet new people everywhere you go. And those people become genuine friends.
Absolutely.
And it's opened me up loads as well, like in terms of like just I don't know, like for example, when we was in Liseberg for the ECC event, my mate Sam messaged me, who wasn't at the event, and was like, okay, my friend Jack is there by himself. He's literally gone by himself and he's got no one to like hang out with. Can you like, I know you guys are good, so do you fancy meeting up with him? So like I messaged him and was just like, look, meet in the foyer. Jack from Wales on Twitter, if you didn't know.
I was thinking that's who you were on about.
Jack from Wales. And then and he was just there and he just joined our group and he was with us for quite a while. And it was literally like just so easy. He was so easy to get on with. And
he was at the table, wasn't he? I remember him saying,
I was chatting to him for a while.
And I was like, "Hey, God, are you Jack from Wales?" It was like, "Yeah." I was like, "No way."
This is what I'm saying. Just people on social media, and then you just twig and you go, "Oh, you're that person." And
it was so funny when I had to go meet. I was like, it feels like I'm on a blind date. I'm just like, that's his profile picture.
Jack from Wales.
There he is. There he is.
You showed him match him on Tinder now.
Yeah, my friend Sam.
Is that what the app's called on your phone?
But no,
it was mad. When it's mad though. Like when we were all going on the event and we walked into I think it was Terminal 1, Manchester Airport, and I could just see everyone that I know. I was like, what the fuck, man? Like it was.
I've done that before with people I don't know. Like when I went to Fantasyland, I was in the smoking area outside the airport, and there was someone in a Wickerman top, and then so of course I went over and I was like, "Hello," like I should be people weird like that. And then it turned out
you say in that voice, "Hello."
Like that, hello.
Just slides over on a chair, just like. Hi.
And then they turned around and they were like, they recognised who I was, and then I recognised their face. And then he was like, "Are you going to Fantasyland?" "Yeah, we're going to Fantasyland." It's just so weird.
Yeah.
Speaking of Fantasyland, if anyone's the 19th and 20th of this month, come meet me.
You're doing a solo Charles Lindbergh, aren't you?
Just put it out there.
Yeah, put it out on Twitter. I'm sure someone will. I mean, actually, be careful.
We're working on a project right now, me and James, and he's just making me want to go so bad. It's so annoying. It's frustrating. It's
I'd love to
yeah.
go back, to be honest. But
I need to
Charles
ride fly.
Limburg again. Woo.
Yeah, but I guess
Shuffle past the things.
like
Oh.
I mean, I didn't really have to say much like when you guys were speaking because you just basically covered
Yeah, for sure.
everything that I've experienced. Like what I will say is it's just funny. Timing with again, like without going too deep into my personal life or anything, but timing has been like a motherfucker of a thing in pretty much my entire life. And just like there obviously was that time where I didn't have like much enthusiast friends, if any at all, and which is what led to me making the effort to basically initially join the Coasterbot Discord, and that's how I met like my main friends that I have from the Coasterbot Discord now. I don't really, and again, like when I go onto Discord, I talk to my friends like within each server. I don't just talk blindly to everybody, but yeah, like I made those friends around the 2019 season and like start of COVID and everything, and then like obviously we became much better friends and much more closer knit together, going to the PB event and PB events and stuff, like meeting up at towers or like whatever the case may be. And then I go and fucking move to Canada, don't I? So just like right when I've spent so much of my life like without like loving loving theme parks, being so passionate about theme parks and roller coasters and everything, and so much time without having people to share that with, because that's always been one of the strongest, if not the strongest source of my happiness, is just being able to share what I love and I'm passionate with other people who also feel it. And I had so much time without having friends who could do that right when I do make my friends over here, over in the UK, that share my passion for this thing that I love so much, it then becomes time for me to go move to America. And I have my friends over here as well who who are like just like my friendship circles who I share that same bond with and stuff. And I think what I'm learning now is the importance of sticking to those, not necessarily sticking to those those friendship circles that you create with people to the extent where you just don't talk to anybody else, because that's kind of idiotic. But just having them there, so like when you get to these situations like that might involve events or just being in a park that is really well known to enthusiasts, you're bound to run into like a bunch of enthusiasts there, or something like that. Like you're not just at the mercy of everybody in a sense, or like you have your people to feel comfortable with.
You have your like
within the
it's like your comfort blanket in it. You have that,
and
then you can like go out and speak to more people and stuff.
Right,
and then get back in.
I have my core group of friends, but then I'm always conscious that I don't just want to become encased in that group of friends. So I call myself like a bit of a floater, because I like to everyone's got their own little group, so I always like to kind of especially at events, you might only know one person in that group, but then that gives you the excuse to go over and speak to that group and then float about, and that's how you make new friends.
Just don't do what I try and do, which is like go to when everyone splits off on Velvet Coaster, and I try and join everyone on a night out.
You just go on a conveyor belt of the tables.
I was just
That's how Sean gets so drunk, because every time he goes to another table, let's get you a drink.
That's
and then he
plan
vanishes
all along.
before it's his turn to buy another drink.
Doesn't spend money at any event.
That's it. That's
the secret sauce.
Unfortunately, bro.
Situation, Sean. That's how you nearly get me killed in Blackpool by doing that. So if you could not do that again,
we don't talk about that. We don't talk about that.
You know
No.
what you did.
Unfortunately, it's normally me being really drunk and buying everyone drinks, or then looking at my bank balance the next day. I'm like, where's all my money gone?
I didn't drink that much.
yeah.
But
More
what
than
I would
900
say-
shots of Jaeger. Like, where did that come from?
Whoops. What I would say is I'd encourage people, if there is people in the chat who are maybe new to the community and stuff, and maybe have a couple of friends and would feel like they wanted to dive into it more, I would say that Coastal Club events are 100% a brilliant way
Yeah.
to network and make new friends, because in a way, I suppose it is kind of throwing yourself at the deep end, like Kira said it, that she's been to events on her own and then realised that, you know, there's loads of us and everyone's amazing. It is scary, but at the same time, it is incredible, because that's the way that you're going to go and meet so many like-minded people. Everyone's always so welcoming, and whether that be ECC, whether that be PBE and stuff like that, there's loads of events out there. And I would say that taking that step and, you know, throwing yourself into an event will open your world up.
Yeah, it will.
To
I mean,
incredible
that's
things.
how I first got into making friends in the community. Was
Yeah.
a Chessington event. Went to.
Yeah.
Really, I was really awkward. I was like, hi. So to decide, everyone then went, "Oh, come join in." Like, started to talk.
Yeah, everyone's so lovely.
And then
loads.
off the back of that, it's I think it's worth being mindful of the fact that once you've been able to feel comfortable with a certain, you know, group of people, within the space of events and stuff, it do you a good job to just be mindful of the fact that if you happen to go to a bunch of these events and you happen to get to a point where such a wide scope of being around such a wide scope of people isn't necessarily your thing, you don't always have to go to events. You can absolutely, you know, just stick to smaller events or just plan trips with friends that you have to where it's just you guys it's just you guys going to certain parks, and then there's not like the pressure of having to be involved in everything that's going on within a wider event, and you don't necessarily put yourself at risk of being overwhelmed of what is going on, because, you know, there are a lot of people. It's a very inclusive community, and there are a lot of people who don't do well in really, you know, loud, wild sort of situations. A lot of people that experience sensory overload. A lot of people that, you know, have social anxiety and then things of that nature. It's a very I don't know what the word is. Like it's very.
It's just a mixed bag, isn't it? Like, that's what it is. Yeah. It's like, just because you all like a same hobby doesn't mean that everyone's going to be the same and everyone's going to get along. Like, it's it's life, you know. Like, you're gonna it's not a bad thing. It's just like, just some personalities don't go together. You know, and it's not, like I say, it's not like a personal thing. It's just that, you know, I'm like, I'm not feeling that person. Or they're a bit loud, or they're just, you know, something's going on. Like, not everyone likes to be around them type of people. And it's okay to just take yourself away as well. Like, and that's the thing. Like, I think most of the clubs that go on in the UK anyway normally happen on like a park open day. It's not like a lot of some of the bigger events like what ECC do and I guess ACE in America and things like that, where, you know, sometimes it is just like you have this park and you have to stick in a big group. From, you know, but yeah, luckily the ones in the UK especially, like, if you're finding that like being around so many people is a bit much, you can take yourself away and do things like that.
I mean, I know quite a lot of the attraction source events.
You'll
have the big. You go into a ride, but then you've got a gap between rides where
you can go
split off into a small group.
Smaller groups.
And I've noticed, like, pretty much every event that I've been to, we always end up adopting a newbie.
Yeah.
Someone that's new to the community, just
Yeah.
end up adopting them into your group and then go.
Yeah,
like,
that's
joining
not
them on
that's not
rides.
wrong actually. Yeah. We've had some random people in the vlogs, haven't we? Like just show up. But it's all
great
good fun
'cause-
though. Yeah, it's great.
Because it's getting them involved and like with a smaller group of people as well.
And I
Yeah.
I always want to stress when we talk about things like this, is the fact that like you know we always talk about on this podcast like having a drink and stuff like that, but quite honestly,
You don't
like I
have
think
to.
it doesn't. You don't have to have a drink, like, and
No.
also like I think don't get confused about it. Like there's been one occasion where I've been very drunk in a theme park, and that was Oktoberfest at Blackpool, because it was Oktoberfest.
Because it was Oktoberfest.
So it was Oktoberfest. But
Damn the rules.
yeah, it's just going to happen,
Yeah.
and they expect it. But usually, like, I don't get like wasted in a theme park. Like, I just
No.
Yeah,
have,
neither do I. Neither do
I
I.
just have a
It's
couple
after
of
the theme
drinks.
park.
It's after the theme parks in a club,
Yeah.
and then people who don't want to do that don't have to go. You know, so
It's
Yeah,
by
yeah,
no,
yeah.
it's by
feel-
no means a thing that you have
No.
to do.
it's
No.
not.
Oh
Not at
no,
all.
not in a million years.
Because I would hate for someone to be like, because I do it. It's not a good thing, which is like if I'm nervous, like have a couple of drinks and it
Yeah.
opens me up a bit, and it's not a good. I don't think that's a good. It's not. It's okay now and again, but I don't think it's a good habit to get into. To be like,
Yeah.
I feel like
No.
anxious, so I'm
Yeah.
just going to get
Right.
really drunk,
Yeah.
because then it can go
Yeah.
like really bad. So
Yeah.
like, just don't think. I'd hate for someone to listen to it and be like, "That's what I've got to do," because it's not. Like,
Oh, no,
literally
no,
it's
no,
not.
no,
So,
No. Not at all.
For sure.
What I find funny though is that we're all friends, but I don't think all of us at the same time here, with James included, we've ever been on a trip, like, or to a park.
No.
All of us,
No.
we've all been there at the same time, but we've all been in separate
Not being
groups.
together. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Well,
we
it's
are
just
all,
gonna
and we are
have
all
a
the type
chain
of
dog's day
people.
out.
Yeah. And we are all the type of people that we would hang out with at parks as well, which makes which makes it even funnier. It is like if I was still in excuse me, if I was still in England, like, you know, me and Sean have had great like theme park days together. Me and you, Luke. Like obviously we've had like whenever I've met up with Emma and Carl and whoever else at Pleasure Beach, it's been an awesome time. Just like I feel like if I was still in England, like you guys would be like you guys are, but like would be, and you know, would be my go-tos for people to go on trips with, to go to meetups with, to like whatever the case may be. But
yeah, we need to make
100%.
something happen, man. You need to come back. Let's come back and do, you know, like, get here for Nemesis, man.
I will be soon.
Dude,
I
it's
hope
gotta
so.
happen.
They're so
I
good.
really hope so. I
So-
can't wait.
There was
yeah.
yeah, it's going to be so good. But yeah, so like in terms of like, say if you're a newbie to the community, if you want to call it that, community, wherever that is, what would you say like the first steps? Like obviously you might not just want to go straight into an event.
I mean, I think one of the better ways to do it these days is, you know, if you've got a YouTube channel that you watch, if they have a Discord channel, like jump in there, talk to people, find a common ground with some people. You might have talked to some
Discord,
people in the
Twitter.
comments on the YouTube videos and had chat.
Yeah,
I do
reach out
find that
to-
social media is a great way. For Twitter, for example, there's a massive theme park community on Twitter. For me, at the beginning, where I didn't necessarily feel ready to get out there and stuff, you know, just kind of like following channels, for example.
Yeah.
Joining in on threads that people are talking about something that I'm interested in is a great way to familiarize yourself with people, because they are always going to pop up in another conversation. And it is a nice way that if you're not feeling ready to be like face to face and jump in, you can still be involved.
Yep.
And have your say on things,
And
just from the comfort of your own home, and you know, doing your own thing.
And with that, I would say like even I would probably say Discord is probably the better option to go with, just because people's conversations can be curated by moderators and stuff.
Yeah.
So like, you can find like these people on Twitter, like Harry from Coasterbot, like I guess Coaster Studios has his Discord as well. The Drunk Riders have their Buzz Bars have their
Virtual Towers.
Their Discord. Virtual Towers has
I
their
never use Discord, you know.
etc.
I ain't got a clue
Yeah,
how to use
and like you can grab the links off them and join the Discord servers, and just very slowly at your own pace talk to people who love the same things you do, and talk to them about what rides they've been on and what their favorites are, etc., in a space where the conversation is monitored and made to keep civil. Like Twitter can get violent.
There's no one moderating that.
No,
that's the
that's
problem.
just yourself and someone else.
Yeah.
To be fair, though, there's people probably watching.
Twitter's good,
this.
but it can get out of hand.
Oh, it can. But there's probably people watching this who maybe don't comment in the chat, but they enjoy, or watch every week and follow the chat and, and
thanks, guys.
start to recognize names.
Yeah.
And we always
shout out to lurkers.
Yeah, shout out to lurkers.
You make it happen.
That's not what I mean. But
that's what I mean though. Shout out to lurkers, because I know there's people.
But like in this chat, for example, it's a nice way to be comfortable yourself. Say something when you want to say something. You don't have to say anything at all. Lurkers.
Yeah.
And it's our chat is moderated, and it's just a fun space to have.
I feel like we open up. We just open up a chat room like for 2 hours every Wednesday.
It kind of is like that.
Yeah, pretty much.
Literally. If we could have you all
some
on,
of the conversations that happen while we're chatting, I'll look over and I'm like, what
are they talking about?
Completely different to us.
I'll never forget the time before I was part of like Chain Dogs. I was in the chat every week, and I just steered the chat way into cheese. It was brilliant.
Oh yes,
we had the best cheese conversation ever.
Yeah.
Some lurkers have
arrived.
Hello.
We love you, lurkers. We love you.
Sean, I still remember you telling me that you're a lurker in the Coaster Bot Discord.
Yeah, I just can't. I'm always in the Coaster Bot Discord, just looking at things. It's great. Yeah. It's great. I don't get involved.
It's really good though, and this is the reason why we started this podcast, because we knew that there was this community out there that wanted to talk about all the geeky, proper, in-depth news and everything that's going on in the world of theme parks and entertainment and stuff. And we try and cover it all. We did it from the Coaster Gen show to doing it now. We do it a bit more lightheartedly now. It's more of a hangout, but at the same time, it all devised of people not being able to go anywhere. But I feel like we've turned that into a positive now.
Yeah.
Like, you can go anywhere you want with the people that you've met during that time. And if you look in that chat now, I see people in there that I'm friends with. Like, I've met in person, and it's ridiculous.
It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah, it is mad.
Nice.
And it's lovely.
Really, it's really cool. I love it. Especially when we was getting to that first Pleasure Beach one we all went to. And there was just like, it was just so cool because there was loads of people there who would like comment every week, and was like, and it was just like you said earlier, it was like just having a normal conversation with a friend, and it's the first time you ever met him. And it was weird. It was crazy though, because the time when the time I joined the like Twitter and started doing videos was during COVID.
Yeah.
So I had like before COVID, I had like no theme park friends, like nothing. And then because we had like that extended period of time where I was just like started talking to new people and I come on the Coaster Gem podcast, and then people. By the time I come out of COVID, it was just like it was a whirlwind. Do you know what I mean? I just knew so many people.
Yeah.
Already, but I've been speaking to him for months. Do you know what I mean?
We're all just gagging to get out of the house as well. We're all just so insensitivized to just be outside.
Yeah, just have
I just carried everyone towards each other with even more.
I remember I'd never even met Emma, and then Emma messaged me when I was in Fantageland. She was like, "Oh, last time I was there." She messaged me and she was like, "Oh, last time I was there, I couldn't find the gift shop, so can you get me like a badge?" So I think I had a magnet and then
find the gift shop when I was there.
Yeah, I bumped into you at Towers.
The main square on the
ran
left.
over. I was like, "Hello."
Yeah, and then I was like, "Oh yeah, I've got your magnet, by the way." And I was just like, it's just a mad thing when you think about that.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, it is weird to just message a stranger. It's like, go in the gift shop and just get us a bag.
Yeah,
But you can't
we had
because-
been talking. We had been talking.
And what it boils down to is that everyone's got a common interest. And
Yeah.
It's just easier to do, right?
yeah.
So
Yeah.
We need a chain dogs trip
we do.
at some point.
Yes.
Us five, and
Chaos.
and whoever else tags along. Like
Us five.
Well,
a
drunk
stage,
riders. Drunk riders.
Five
the
microphones.
plus the trunk riders.
Can you imagine?
What could possibly go wrong?
That'd be amazing.
We need us five a stage, 5 microphones, and an ERS on a ride at Pleasure Beach. I think that'd be sick. That'd be
Yeah.
We need a Valhalla-thon. We said
Yes.
it before.
half an hour on Valhalla, constant. That'd be mental.
I'll bring a bin bag and like wrap my box
literally,
up in it.
if I come over, if I come over for Nemesis's reopening, and
Yeah.
like we can sort out, like if we can find some other parks that are open, like maybe some parks in Europe that are open as well. We should string a trip together.
Yeah, we
Like,
should.
100%.
Do you know how weird? Do you know how weird we're so used to it? But Nemesis is. It's such a weird word, right? You say
Nemesis is.
Nemesis.
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 Yeah.
Nemesis is.
Nemesis.
Also, talking of Nemesis, look, I think we need to close the podcast off.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I just wanted to go. I'm the only one here who's done Subterra, right?
Yeah.
So
Oh,
I was
yes.
just gonna I famously I said before. I said famously. Whatever.
Famously.
Famously.
Who was that?
You are.
for?
Right,
hell.
there you go.
You are.
Jesus
Right,
Christ.
famously.
On that bombshell, it's,
Sean, I think you need a wider angle lens.
do you know who he
Do
is?
you know?
In the
I
comments,
am?
you know who he is.
I meant like famously on the
Who is
podcast.
he?
I was a big fan of Subterra before anyway.
Same.
Ooh, where is this going?
Honestly, it's better than I remembered it to be.
Oh.
Like I enjoyed it so much.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because I think part of it, right, is the fact that we've got this like ongoing story anyway, with Nemesis being
Fizz.
retracked and stuff.
That's that partial from YouTube.
But I think because it's opening out the way it is, it's cool because like the pre-show and everything like it loosely ties in with what's going on over at the Nemesis site. So that was really cool. But definitely like there's been just a lot of improvements that I
Right.
can think of from when I remembered it. The lighting is so much better. The sound, I don't know, the sound just feels like more bassy and stuff in there.
It was an old system in that thing. It was. a
But
long time ago.
like even though the restraints are janky as hell, because it's just like basically it's like I think it's got to the point now where they can't load full people on because they have to swap bigger people around with other people to get the bar all the way down. They figured it out. It is a lot faster than it was on opening day because I did it like literally 2 days ago, and they're like on it now. It's running a lot better than it was on the opening day. But it was just like I just forgot how like I don't know, like intense this
it's
experience was.
intense.
And
It
it's not because they're not doing the shouty thing now because what Bianca was explaining to people, what I heard from other people who were coming out, because Bianca spent 2 hours just like listening to people's feedback and literally going up to them and asking them what was your
She
feedback.
did that curse as well.
Yeah. Bianca is listening to what people are saying and then they're taking action on that as well. But the way it was explained was we're not advertising this as a scare attraction. So you have to like, there's a lot of, you've got to be so careful now in terms of like what you're subjecting people to. You don't know what like underlying conditions people have got these, we're just a lot more aware from when Subterra used to run.
Oh yeah, because like there's now warning labels as well at the start of it.
But there's a difference. I think the way it was explained was like there's a difference between like going into like Curse and expecting like a horror attraction, than just like turning up on the day to a random thing, getting in the queue, thinking you're going on Nemesis, maybe going even on the coaster. Do you know what I mean? And then suddenly you're getting shouted by an actor. So they have to just be really careful if they're not advertising it. So I kind of understood that, but saying that, it was the actual experience itself of the the actual drop bit. Like I forgot just like how intense it was when the lights go out.
Yeah.
You get the water spray. You get like I don't want to spoil it too much, but yeah, there's things that are going on that I forgot happened.
Yeah.
I've forgotten, and
Right.
it's just like
Are they all there?
really, yeah, they're all there. They're all fully working.
Nice.
And also just like the sound design that's going on while that's all happening and the lights are off. It's so well done, and that lift scene at the end is way more intense than it used to be.
Sick.
Like you
I
are.
do love the fact that touching on what Luke just said briefly, then that outside of rides now they do have a sign on the wall,
Just
like
a-
sensory
Yeah.
gauge, you know, and
Yeah,
letting people know. Well, it's such a lovely touch, like
yeah,
because like you said, you don't know what people are dealing with within themselves. So it is nice that there's now like a warning that'll be like
yeah,
a gauge of what everything's going to be like.
yeah. And that's the thing. Like it's if you're expecting one thing to go in there, because it's such a hard. I think it's a hard attraction to like get across what it is. Like it's there's nothing else really like that.
No.
So it's like it's. I mean, Alicia's just said like, if she'd come off and then someone was yelling at her in that corridor, I think she would have cried. Do you know what I mean? So it's I don't know. It's one of them where it's okay at Scarefest or like Fright Nights because people kind of know what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But then if you give away the game, like, oh, you're going to get yelled at and this is going to happen, you're going to come out of it. Like, how do you get across? I don't know. It's
It is very
It is what it
difficult.
is.
I can see it from the park's perspective, and
But
you know, with
they've-
the new attraction.
Yeah, they've changed up that end. Like in the end scene when I went into it, I've done it a few times now, and there's always been at least like 3 to 5 actors. It's not a scare maze experience, but they're adding to the storyline, so I don't want to give
Right.
it away. And they've
Yeah,
changed up the look of the end corridor to give it
Ah.
a more phalanxy feel. So,
Oh.
they I think they've dealt with it really well, in my opinion.
Wow.
But yeah, it was just surreal. It was so surreal being in that building and then being like, I
Can
just
imagine.
never thought that this
Mate,
thing
when
would
they
come
started
back
putting
ever again.
when they started putting the viewing platform up, and I walked past and I could see the screens on inside with the Phalanx logo spinning around, I was like, "Holy shit, it's happening!" Like we've been talking about this for years about
Yeah, because we've been teased about it for so long. Because obviously they always had them question marks outside.
I mean,
Everyone was like,
yeah.
"Oh,"
And we were
but then
just like,
to have it, yeah.
"What?" And it was same on Duel as well on Curse when we got on Curse, and it was all different. I was like, "This is
Yeah.
amazing!" Like I never thought I would see an opening ceremony of a new ride, but one that I've loved for so long.
Yeah.
And I just can't fathom how good Nemesis is going to be.
Yeah.
I just can't. Like it's like event of decade maybe. It's going to be just incredible.
It's gonna be insane.
It's gonna be an iconic moment.
You're gonna want
I'm just happy that I get to experience Nemesis again. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, how mad is that? Like,
exactly.
this is
Yeah.
crazy in this. Yeah. I mean, it
In
won't ever be the same
2024.
as what it was in '94 because
Yeah,
like,
it's
no one had
different.
ever seen anything like Nemesis before.
No.
Like, not in the world. So
No.
it won't be the same, but like, it's going to be close to it. Like,
Yeah.
But
in terms of, like,
it doesn't have to be the same in the sense of it being the same. Like it's
Make our new memories.
it's its own moment.
Yeah.
You know Towers are going to come up with a different way to market it and like a more up to the times way to market it and present it and everything like that. It's going to be its own. It's going to have its own like timestamp, I think, which makes it even more interesting.
I also want to say before we close the podcast off is I don't think Emma's touched on it, but roller coaster at Great Yarmouth might be like one of my favorite woodies in the country. It's so fun.
It was so cute.
Like, it's so good. Like it's like some like if you compare that to is this like blasphemy? I hate slagging Pleasure Beach off, but if you compare it to like some of their woodies, like I just think that thing was so fun because it's like it's kind of tame, but then the airtime is like so insane.
Did you ride the back? That first drop off the chain lift is ridiculous.
It was like the scenic at Tivoli. Like I stood on the back row. I like literally nearly stood up. I was basically stood up on the back.
Yeah. So
We
I
can
saw.
talk about Yarmouth a little bit next week, can't we? Because we've
Yeah.
you know, we can.
I just
we did a
wanna-
lot in Great Yarmouth.
I just
Yeah,
don't
I'd
think
love
it
to hear
gets.
about
It's been years since I've ridden that thing, and I forgot. Like,
It's nuts, isn't it?
it's just mental, and I don't think it gets talked about enough. Like,
No.
megaphobia gets talked more about than that.
Mhm.
Do you know what I mean? And I mean, rightly so. Megaphobia is great, but when it's good. But yeah. But anyway,
time
I
is
think
mega on roller
we
coaster.
are done, guys.
Well, I'll let you
Yes.
close.
Yeah.
I'll let you close it off, bro.
I've just driven out 8 hours since catching up with me now.
Guys, thank
Right.
you for joining us tonight, and thank you for all your stories as well, and for sharing everything that we spoke about. And like I say, if we've got any questions during the week, please don't hesitate to throw them into a comment of one of the previous shows, or whatever. We'll get to them. But yeah, it's been great hanging out as usual, and hopefully we're back next week. Are we all here next week? Does anybody know?
Yes, I am.
I'm here.
Definitely here.
Yes,
next week.
I'll be here.
Definitely.
Whoop, whoop.
I got some things to sort out with.
And
work,
I
but
will have.
I should be. I should
will
be
have
here.
ghost
Yeah.
trained.
Oh,
yeah,
you would
can
have
talk about
ghost
it.
trained.
Oh, there you
Yeah,
go.
Hopefully, as long as it's
Nice.
open.
Nice. All right.
Cool. Am I clicking it?
Yeah, you click it.
All right. See you later, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.